First, let's talk about compositions. And what do I think about that? About everything. First, let's speak about FPX. FPX has a very, let's say, classic composition that was here before chamber was actually used, right? You can't really use Killjoy to full to full range with full efficiency on this map. This is why Cypher was always used on this map instead. But after chamber got added, like chamber just instantly took place instead of Cypher, because he's just more useful, you know? When he was still with True Traps, it was just kind of obvious. Like, you have an actual impactful ultimate on this map, and an operator for free, like 2 times per half, essentially, is like absolutely fucking nuts. So yeah, obviously gonna play chamber. But coincidentally enough, Suigetsu is an insanely good Cypher, and I wonder how much they thought about this when it comes to picking picking Cypher, because Cypher is fantastic against Neon and Yoru, because he gives so many informations, right? He's able to reposition the traps in the positions that will be great against dashes and the TPs, and the camera will give you info about stuff that might be happening out of your reach, right? So you know if someone dashed somewhere through the wall, because the camera will be above it. You're gonna know if TP was fake or not, because you're gonna have like a camera high top that will be watching the site and so on. But also, Suigetsu Cypher, I mean any Cypher, is weak against Fade, because Fade's prowlers are actually able to destroy the traps. So that's kind of interesting. And others on Jet instead of the chamber, because you know if the Cypher is here, you can still play chamber instead of the Jet. But since they do play the Jet instead of the chamber, that shows you that what FPX favors on attack is the actual possibility of dashing into the site for the smoke, because that's the only reason why would you choose Jet over chamber in this specific situation, right? Because chamber in defense is better than Jet. Like there's no going around it. Like he's just better because he can do it more efficiently, while what Jet represents is the possibility of dashing out, but only in a brief amount of time. But you have more freedom where to do it and in what place on the map to do it. So that's the only difference, right? But because they choose the Jet over the chamber, like it's an artist is comfortable playing on both, that showcases that they do favor dashing onto a site on attack, which is specifically important on the B side. And yeah, and then we have Sky Sova standard stuff. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that we don't see Fade instead of Sova. But there's obvious things that are happening here. Like they just need flashes. They just need flashes, and also probably not everyone was comfortable by playing Sova. Like Zippen on Sova didn't look good, so he would have to play Sova, and then Shao would have to play Fade, and that would probably make Zippen play insanely bad. And this makes more sense because they have Zippen on a more comfortable role, and also the flashes have the combo, the synergy with the wall, right? With the smokes from Ardis, and with the smokes from Suigetsu, and with the smokes from Angel as well. So it's very flexible, right? It's very flexible. All right. And before we go into the composition from PRX, because this is gonna take a while, Albeast, thank you much for the 18 months. Welcome back, bro. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. New subscriber badge for you. So now when it comes to PRX, there's some crazy stuff here and not so crazy stuff. Like first crazy stuff is that there's no Sova, right? So there's no Sova. The lack of Viper I don't think is a big deal, because as I already explained many times, Viper is not efficient. Like she's being used because she's a Viper, and she has like this kind of leftovers from the previous iteration of Viper that was just very efficient, and now she's very inefficient. She can't control holes and site at the same time because the wall and smoke together, they last only 10 seconds. So that's a big problem with the lurks. While Astra here allows you to, unfortunately, play only 2 smokes, right? At least at one time. But she allows you to have a lot of control on various spaces on the maps because you're global range. So you can play smokes in crucial positions while not being exposed. So you can do smokes without lineups for nest. You can do it for holes. You can do it for stairs, right? So there's more like emphasis of using the Astra in mid control. At least that will be my assumption, right? I can't remember exactly in the game because I was just watching on the TV while playing with my daughter. So I can't remember exactly where the smokes were being used, but I'm gonna be guessing that those spots and probably like outside of B main when they are gonna be attacking, it's gonna be the main ones because that's how would you use that, and then supplement, and then you would supplement the attack with the amount of flashes and stuns and the neon wall, right? The neon wall can be used like this, can be used like this, like whatever. You can do it like whichever way you want to do it, and essentially have like a one-time only Viper wall. I mean, not a Viper wall, but less efficient Viper wall, but still blocks vision, so that's pretty okay. And this is a composition that doesn't really play slow and value. It's just like super explosive on attack, so you don't have to worry about recurring value from the Viper. Now, the only surprising thing about this composition, because everything else kind of works in tandem, right? But this Sova, lack of Sova showcases that you need more explosiveness, which is the Fade, right? But you pay in price with the Fade for the lack of flexibility. So the Recon Arrow, in this case Haunt, is not as flexible, doesn't have the same range as Sova, and that makes it a little bit less comfortable to use like efficiently. But at the same time, the possibility of synergies that you have with Fade while using the ultimate from Benkai, it's absolutely phenomenal with Yoru because it masks the sounds, so you can just TP and go out of your ultimate while everyone else is just deaf, so they can't hear anything. And they have absolutely no clue that you might be behind them, right? So this is like the combo. Using Haunt like from underhand is also great with the neon wall to expose people. So that's a little bit better than the Recon Arrow. The Prowlers are great against Cypher, but I have no clue if they actually knew that it's gonna be playing against Cypher or not. So this might be a happy accident. But in general, like all Fate does here is make sure that you can be more explosive than playing with a Sova. Sova is more static, and it requires a little bit more time to set up than a Fade. And now the big talking point for me is the Breach. Now, Breach in solo queue, don't play it on Breeze. Like, it makes no sense. Breach only makes sense to play on maps where he's efficient on his own for solo queue. But when it comes to professional play, this is a big difference because you have a specific playstyle in mind. And as we know, of course, Breach is a fantastic combo with any duelist that has a lot of mobility. And while we have 2 here, that makes it not surprising that you're able to play the Breach efficiently. And all of this, like the entire composition here, is built to be explosive. Like, it's built to be explosive. This one, insanely explosive. This one, insanely explosive. This one, insanely explosive. This one, insanely explosive. And the only player that is not the explosive one is the one that will be most likely controlling like lurks, right? And then having the global range. So he will be useful for this super mobile and explosive team while he's not gonna maybe even be with him. And that's why this composition is tailored this way, and it's not surprising to see. And also remember that there's one downside of using Breach on Breeze. There's a big problem with the range of his utility. Let's go for Breeze. Let's pick like Fault Line. Remember, Fault Line, like you don't have a possibility of hitting everything, right? The range of it, it's limited to some degree, but it's also pretty big. But the problem is the fault line is not really the biggest problem. The problem is the Rolling Thunder. The Rolling Thunder has an issue with covering every single angle that you want to cover, right? Because it's a little bit awkward on how you have to use it. So there has to be a good plan on how exactly to use the ultimate. And one of the, like, my favorite pieces of... Oh, shit, you can't use it. You can see it. My bad. One of the biggest problems when it comes to using the Breach ultimate is like finding a good spot to it. This is one of my favorite ones because it's from the same spot where you would use the Killjoy. But it's like, look, you're almost doing everything on site and leaving just this small box here. You can also like move a little bit here, so you also affect the player that is, in theory, might be hiding here. And then you affect the entire side while bopping people. Like let's say someone is standing here, right? Because Neon stands like this spot. Relay bolt. Like Neon goes for the bolt here, right? Maybe you have like some mollies or whatever, right? And you push out people like behind pyramids, and then Breach just ults them, and they get bopped, like boop, and you're out in the open because you're bopped from the side, so you're being moved in this space, and you're stunned out in the open. You essentially like long range can't really shoot, and you're dead. And the same was with Fade. The Fade ultimate is a little bit less awkward to use than Breach, because look where it starts. Breach has this range from the character when it starts exploding. Fade starts literally at the fade. So not only is longer range, but it also starts more efficiently. So you don't have to worry that much about being about being efficient with the ultimate from Fade when you compare it to Breach. But in general, in a team setting with such a composition, this is like potentially insanely powerful, and let's just pay attention to how it works. But before we actually start the entire VOD review, I wanted to just explain to you what you should be looking for, because in my eyes, without like doing in-depth analysis of every round already, right, I can tell you that PRX is just prone to overheating. And I know that they have, like, people will be like, hey, Lothar, but they just played like that, otherwise they wouldn't be successful. It's not about that. The team is super explosive. They know where to be aggressive, but they don't know when to stop being aggressive. There were many rounds in many maps, not only this one, in many matches, where PRX gets the aggression going, right? Get the advantage. And then just, instead of chilling, instead of pushing the button and just like stop moving, or like just putting away the foot from the gas, right? They still go for it. And that's the moment where PRX decides to lose the advantage and most likely put yourself at the disadvantage, you know? So there's gonna be a lot of situations like that, and I think that's the main reason why they didn't win this grand final. And we can literally just talk about it when it's gonna happen, because if I remember correctly, the first 2 rounds were literally lost because of that, and those are the important ones, right? So let's see. All right, as you can see, Astra is gonna be lurking on mid. 4 players going into B main. Pretty explosive opening already. Neon like moving with, well, we're being exposed to B main, and there's the Cypher camera, so it gives you info. Okay, Cypher is here, right? There's a chance that the trap might be on A, but it's most likely here on B.
Like the desk was talking about, there's no viper walls whatsoever.
Okay, not a single piece of utility was being used yet. Let me just check what are the buys here. We have 5 ghosts for PRX, so 1 flash on Breach. No, wait. Only Aftershock. No flashes. No flashes on Breach on first round. And only 1 flash on Forsaken. I mean, obviously, because you don't have much cash, right? And what is also really interesting is that Jing did go for the Ghost instead of Armor Classic and double stuns, right? So a lot of personal, like, comfortability, I would say.
How do they cut off sight lines?
All right, standard TP that's gonna go towards the broken wall. Prowler checks the left side, clears the angle from the trap, right? So that means that the trap is not being set up here. And by the way, they go into a stack. There are 3 players on B.
Find value out of
So now they know that it's Cypher Viper here, right? Now they know it's Cypher Viper because Jin should be relying the info. And Jin is the only player here, by the way. There's no one else. And you can see that Davai is in elbow, so he's gonna be using the aftershock and the stun to help the duelists now that are gonna be taking the space, because that Yoru needs to TP. So there's gonna be most likely a combo with the breach stun aftershock here. Okay, Neon is affected. That's it's actually insane that he was able to get that kill. So now we have Forsaken TP after the flash, and the flash was being used by the Yoru himself, so he flashes for himself. We don't see exactly the position where he flashed.
find value out of the neon. I mean, I guess I just run in.
Yeah, there's no way of us seeing where the flash lands, but he just TPs. He's gonna try to kill the player. He was stunned as well. You can see that there's the combo with the Vi, right? So there's a ping being used on the minimap. Look, you can see the ping on the minimap right now. This is most likely from Davai. I assume that Forsaken is not in a spot where he's able to use the map comfortably, but this is like either the communication from Davai or from Forsaken. This is where you stun. This is where the player will be standing, right? So there's really, like, this stun is being used right now. Davai just used it, right? Just used it. Jin TPs. This guy is not only flashed, but also stunned. And he just gets a free kill. Fade is using the Hunt on the top of the pillar on mid side. You can literally land it on top, right? And Aftershock is being used now, but I have no clue where. And Shao gets the kill through the wall. Because of the recon. Man, too bad the Aftershock is not being shown on the minimap. But look, this is a 3 versus 3, right? This is a 3 versus 3, and the attackers have every single advantage, and the defenders will have to retake with only one player having utility, essentially, right? Look, 3 versus 2. This should be unlosable. At this point, the only thing that you have to do is play defensive. You don't have to peek. You know that the players didn't start the retake yet, right? And now it's just easy. Okay, Jin has the info. Sova is at broken wall. Okay, chill now. He gets info on the second player, right? He gets info on the second player. This is so valuable. But what does he do? Because I remember this vividly, and I'm upset right now about it, okay? Let's just pay attention to what he does. He did 3 repeaks when the opponents are not even starting the retake. And he's the player that is required not to die, because he is on the site. The other players can play off him. Like, imagine if Jin just stays here behind the box while not being exposed to anything, right? He just stands here next to the spike. He's not exposed, and then we have Mindfreak go into the B tunnel, wait for the contact of Jin. If someone is here, then he can backstab, right? And Fade just gonna stand in here. And then she can play on the contact as well. The round is 100% won. But Jin, instead of playing safe, I mean, he didn't play safe. He got the info on the Sova, he got the info on the Sky. But instead of re-peeking the same angle 3 times, he could have just be like, chill. But it's still 2v2, right? It's still 2v2. But now what Benkai does? He fights. For no reason at all. And now, instead of having a 3 versus 2 and buying like 20 seconds of time, this is still winnable, but it's gonna be pretty tough. And they lose. And this is literally lost just because PRX doesn't have the discipline to know when to stop. Right? Now, also, you can see that Shao here gives the info where the hunt was landing. Like, literally, you can see here. See? He shows that the hunt was landing on top of the pillar. But it's hugely disappointing because the execution for PRX was phenomenal. I really do think that it's so hard to stop an execution like that when you have flash stun from one side, flash stun from other side, and then you have the hunt on top of that. Like, it's almost impossible to stop and execute like that, you know? And they throw. They literally throw an almost unlosable pistol round if they would play it on a fundamental good level.
Glimpses of what PRX are going for there. They had a flash, and then as Forsaken Gate cracked,
hey, Godsend.
It was comboed with a fault line from Divide.
Yo, Repstyle, thank you very much for the 7 months.
But it all got shut down by Shao. Wow. The recon dart, the spam kill onto Forsaken.
Like those overpeaks are just like...
Just and then shots to find. Hitting the headshot there as well onto Mindfree.
Yeah.
Giving him the aim punch.
Oh, okay. But the thing is that this is happening on every single map. Like, and you know what's funny is that... Wait, let me not leak anything. Let me not leak anything. I will show you something. On 22nd, so 3 days ago, I tweeted, if at some point PRX will stop overheating, they will be the best team on the planet. But it's hard to fix those bad habits in 3 days, right? But it's literally that. Like, they need so little to become, in my eyes, the best team. It's so little. So little. But the implications are so big. Right? Hello, F-Trave.
PRX are not done though.
And they're forcing, which is not surprising. They got the plant and they know that they can play advantages. And also, I think this is an actual anti-strat. On maps like Breeze, you don't typically want to force, right? Because the map is so big. But there's an advantage towards PRX because the opponents will not know if they force or not. And also, the fact that this explosive composition can play with SMGs from close range by just being super aggressive. Right? So that's also an upside. But also, remember that FPX is so... Like, I can guarantee you that we could go through every single match of FPX. And every time they won a pistol round, Angel never had a gun. And there could be also a second player who didn't have a gun. There were rounds which were being played by 2 players of FPX with 2 pistols after winning pistol round. So that's also can be an estimated guess. Give me a moment, my friends. All right, we're back. So forcing against FPX, I think it's always a good decision. you can punish opponents like you can punish FPX so hard by forcing, you know. So yeah. Anyway,
going for a force. They're forcing into this one.
But this is 5 players, by the way. This time, Mindfreak was with them. And Davai goes for the Sheriff because he needs to buy 2 flashes. So they do like a full buy execute, essentially, here.
Again, a dangerous
They heard the Spectre, right? Right now. There's the trap being triggered by the Prowler. Very important. Trap is already gone. Flash, TP, backside. Yoru's already here. There's no fucking indication where it's being stunned, being used, and so on. Like, I'm almost certain that Divide uses the same stun that goes on the pillar, which pushes off the Cypher right now. So the stun goes like here, and the Cypher, because of that, moves away towards the CT area. I'm almost certain about it, but it's not visible on the minimap. And also, like, look at this. Like, it's almost impossible to stop this unless you use your utility to stop them from pushing. Like, the only way of stopping this execute is by using abundance of utility on the B tunnel. Like, if you use B tunnel, like nades, mollies, like whatever, right? Flashes, just to stop them from moving, then you can have, like, maybe a 1v1 fight against the Yoru. But still, the breach will stun you and shit. But you can see that there's a combo here as well because of the gravitational pull. So it's literally so efficient, you know?
Crash into the back. That's gonna be...
Now, this won't go through the wall because it's low penetration. But they already have sight. And you can see that Forsaken sets up the clone for B. Sorry, for the backside. But I 100% disagree with how this clone was being set up. So let's talk a little bit about it. Oh wait, here. Look, let's pay attention where Forsaken is setting up the clone. And I think this is actually a huge mistake. He equips the clone behind the wall, which is nice, so he's not exposed while equipping it. But unfortunately, he puts the clone in the open. See this? He puts it out in the open. So when the clone spawns, if someone sees it, then there's absolutely zero chance that they will shoot it because it spawns out in the open. And remember that when I was with Forsaken in the custom map, I was also explaining this, that you want to put the clone looking at the wall close to you, so he blocks himself on the wall and moves forward a little bit, so he tries to mimic a peek. Right? He tries to mimic a peek, so people will start shooting it. But because Forsaken puts it out in the open, there's a very high chance this clone will have no impact. In this case, it has no impact, but it's not because of this, but it's because that just Forsaken just dies. So, yeah. There's one flash, they already have sight. Fade is on site with the spike, it's gonna get planted. And it's a 5v5 retake, right? Which is something that with this composition will happen a lot because people will just give you the sight because it's so hard to stop those executes, right? I don't know what Forsaken was trying to do there, but yeah, that was like completely unnecessary. Look. Wait, was that Forsaken? No, that was the Fade. Forsaken just got spammed through the wall. That's essentially it. Yeah, but he's at 10 HP. Why is he jiggle peeking? A player that has 10 HP should never be even jiggle peeking, because if he doesn't die to the snakebite here, there's a very high chance he's just gonna be spammed through the wall while jiggle peeking. So he will die anyway. Players who have such a low HP should never jump peek or jiggle peek or shoulder peek, because there's a very high chance you're gonna get spammed through the wall for the last remaining 10 HP. Right? And now the clone is fully ignored because, yeah, Forsaken's already dead. So yeah, this is a clone.
Does not get out of there. That's his clone jogging to safety.
Jing has the kill. It's 4v4. And most likely there are no smokes to cut off the plant, right? Why is Jing now fighting? Like those are the things that really piss me off. Like, he gets the kill here. Look.
Benkai's weak.
Fight's being taken, the bulldog
Right?
ADS, they are going to be favored in this one, but it's a trade anyway. Now, the flank timing the lurk. Mind Freak is down for him to do some damage, to buy a bit of time and space for his team, but now, look at this, running them down with the Ghost in play!
Wait.
To buy a bit of time and space for his team.
Benkai is just super low in HP. His like strafing left right, I think it's correct, but yeah, it just doesn't hit.
Doubled up to buy a Mind Freak against the world. Sticking this one under the fuse. The damage, it's enough to stop it, but it's still...
Yeah, but Mindfreak in this case had a bad position for himself. I don't think it was like last time in the pistol round. I think Mindfreak had a good position if they would play correctly post plan. In this case, his position was really bad.
And he has to swing wide, he has to hit the shots, but it's Xiao again.
But look at that. They were playing a 4v4, a 3v4 post plant, and they almost won it. Now imagine if they were actually not over peak, right?
So clean for FPX. There have been other players obviously coming up huge for them time and again.
What should Jing do instead? Jing gets the 1 kill, right? Jin gets the 1 kill. Fuck off, you're a Neon. After getting the 1 kill, you press your E and you fuck off. Like you try to get to just walk away from getting the 1 kill because you already won so much value and you just need to buy time, right?
Late round kind of moments. Demonic in the clutch. Utterly cold. And that puts PRX back down onto an eco round, just using these sheriffs. And listen, whether or not PRX
So on lower buy,
fall or fly, they're doing it in true Apex
they go for the
style.
default.
You could not get a better end to this series. It's the most EMEA comp you could come up with against the most APAC craziness.
Really is someone that you'd find, honestly, just pick
Might be wrong, but I feel PRX in general were planting a bit late, like after entering site, because the spike is always on a character that is like a more supportive role, so they never in a good position to just run in fast. Because the other 3 characters in this composition, as I explained at starting the VOD, is they have the supportive role of the 2 duelists. So sometimes they will be off position because of that. And also Phobista, thank you very much for the 26 months. Welcome back, bro.
Going to be able to watch for him, trying to push up deep into mid as well. It doesn't really reveal too much of his positioning as well.
That smoke, however, is going to make Artist think there's potential
Did he... I don't think he realized.
already at Arch.
Stuns, gate crash into the back of the side.
Like, imagine this is not a sheriff. Imagine this is a stinger. Imagine this is a stinger or this is a ghost. This 100% gets a kill. I mean, not a 100%. But there's a higher chance that Forsaken gets a kill here with any different gun than Sheriff. Because Sheriff, this gun here, right? This gun here has 1000 milliseconds equip time, which is 1 second, right? If he has a Stinger, it's 750 milliseconds. A Ghost, 750 milliseconds. Like, all of those guns would give him the ability to start shooting the Cypher in the back when he still didn't realize that he's being TP'd. Frenzy has also 1 second. Frenzy is not a good opportunity. It doesn't set up the same opportunities that it can do with a Stinger or with the Ghost. So when I try to do like Yoru TPs on an eco, I much rather prefer anything that is not having a 1 second equip time. So 250 millisecond here would actually give time give enough time for Forsaken to have the upper hand in this duel. And this duel right here can decide the round. Imagine if Forsaken gets the kill on Suigetsu and gets the AK. Like, nuts. Absolutely nuts. And Suigetsu was late. Right? Also, Suigetsu would crouch against the Sheriff, so there was a high chance that he would lose anyway. But you only have 2 shots. You only have 2 shots as Forsaken here to get a kill. 2 shots, right? But if you have a Stinger, you just spam him.
Forsaken couldn't find the head, and Artis is still Being surrounded by enemies, but with the rifle, he should be good for it. A quick updraft, revealed by the dart. And Mind Freak's lurk comes to no fruition.
And that is a prime game.
Did you show Forsaken your Breeze lineups? No, we only spoke about Bind. I didn't know that he's gonna be playing on Breeze, and I think, I honestly think that Forsaken never wanted to show on stream that he could play Yoru on Breeze, so that's why we didn't talk about it. I would be happy to do it off stream, but you know, I don't have such a close connection with him. What equip time is default pistol? 750. See, look how much time it took Suigetsu to realize that there's a Yoru behind him, man. Like, fuck me. A ghost or a stinger would just like 99% get a kill there.
To the flexibility of both of these teams, that they're able to almost roll the dice on the compositions they want to play as they head into the most important map they've ever played.
All on the line.
Suigetsu was holding him, by the way. Wait, did he? Oh, that's a huge mistake. Suigetsu's in his camera. There's some miscommunication here, or Artis doesn't understand the plan, because, look, the thing is, this setup, let me show you here on the minimap, like this. Caramba, 1 second. So the thing is here, that this camera wants to see the window and the tunnel right here, and there are two options of playing the round. Our displays like this camera will stop anyone from moving into the window, so he's exposed in a very wide angle, while Cypher is in his camera, so he's just behind the corner. He's essentially not here, right? So if you want to play it like this, right, then I think Artis should be hugging the wall closer here, so he's not exposed to the window with a wider angle, right? Or this Cypher should not even use the camera and just stand here with a gun out. And that's it. But this way they played, gave a free kill.
And that is fast. PRX immediately swinging out to window. Punish Artis.
You play Sheriff in Eco because you kill 150 with one shot? No, you don't. Over 30 meters you deal 145. And Sheriff is not a good gun, close range. You only use Sheriff essentially between, like, I mean, sorry, not only use, but the most efficient range for a Sheriff is between 20 to 30 meters. That's like the best range to use the Sheriff, 20 to 30, right? Over 30, it's not lethal, and below like 15 meters, you are a bit fucked because your opponents have guns that are automatic.
And Suigetsu tried to hold the angle, but just got overwhelmed. Too many bodies for him to deal with.
And what I explained about the equip time. Like, it's a huge, huge burden when you play Yoru.
And FPX have decided to play heavily for mid here. Both A and B are full retake setups.
I don't like this, by the way. I don't like using from Jin, using the fuel right here. I don't think it's unnecessary. Yoru has the spike, so Jin should never leave the Yoru anyway. Him using the fuel here has no effect. Now he has no fuel, right? He's rebuilding it, but there was actually no point in using it. I think Jin has like insane aim, insane mechanics, right? Especially on Raze. But on other characters, I feel like he's not comfortable enough to think about min-maxing stuff, and he's so prone to overheating. Like he's make it or break it for PRX. He won them a lot of rounds by doing stupid shit, right? But he can take the odds at like openings. But once he gets that odds, then it's a very high chance that he's gonna throw after that. And it's like once they like Forsaken said to us, right, that Jin only knows W. That's what Forsaken said to us on stream when he was here in a custom map, right? But once Jin gets, I think, like coached how to know when to stop moving, right? And when to realize to min-max his positioning, he's gonna become like such a key player for PRX.
Positioning from Shao might allow him to use his Hunter's Fury to stop some kind of plant, but I think he might just be a
Two players just went to site. Okay, now they know about the second trip position.
Positioning, but still, now they have to use that cam, clearing it down.
And honestly, against PRX, you're worried they've pushed your spawn.
Yeah, they could have taken so much advanced positioning off of this. Not a lot given, but Forsaken well. Taking away Zipan. Advantage. Gain for PRX. Looking like they can maybe put this round on the board.
Amazingly, PRX are actually playing really
Well, look. Why is he pushing? Look. Why is he pushing right here onto site? Right? Forsaken already got 2 kills. It's a 5v2, and this is the first round that PRX can win and start building a utility and an economy, right? And instead, Forsaken is pushing onto site because he wants to go for kills, which makes no sense because the opponents have a lot of utility, a lot of economy, and also Forsaken already has the ult, so he doesn't need the orbs. This decision making is another thing that allows the opponents to just get possibilities of winning rounds for no reason. You know?
For PRX.
As a general rule, when you flash and TP with Yoru, wait for the flash to pop, then TP or looking backwards. That really depends on your playstyle. There's no one answer for that. Also, I don't know why Davai is playing Odin, right? There's for sure a reason for it. There's for sure like suppressing fire that is just so valuable for them. So let's try to find what exactly is spamming, because I wasn't paying attention that much to the game when I had it on screen.
How to play this map? Because the post-plant positioning you can get from there is just amazing.
Yeah, and I think as well, goes against the grain in terms of what you expect with PRX playing this composition.
I agree.
Yoru in play, Jing as well.
Okay, so he pops the ultimate, and now this is gonna be should be creative. Let's see. He puts. So that's a big mistake. I think Forsaken just didn't see Jet, but that's a mistake, right? This is like a mistake. Like essentially, Forsaken here is the Yoru drone, right? And the Jet not being spotted is probably just Forsaken not seeing him, you know? But also, Jing just goes too fast. There's no point in doing this. Like, Forsaken should be flashing off, or someone should be getting stunned by and that's the moment you strike. Like, Forsaken just clears the Forsaken can clear the entire site, and then Davai can stun the player that is being visible on the minimap.
Way to shut that down is Ardis. Operator in his hand. Hunter's Fury to deny. The Gate Crush has to back away.
Yeah, I had to back away because now they have disadvantage. See, like, the reason why this round was inefficient, it was a great plan from PRX, but it required Jin not to die. Jin just dry peeked because he thought it's already his Q, but it wasn't. So either miscommunication, right? Not giving enough time for Forsaken to clear, to flash off, and because of that, Jin could also Forsaken couldn't take the risk. The fact that Forsaken here doesn't go for any of the kills is because he knows that it's already 4v5, right? And he has to get 1 kill and go away, or 2 kills and not die. Like, there's almost not like he's not able to do that because he has an opponent behind and in front of him.
Fury to deny. The Gate Crush has to back away. Forsaken in the corner. He's taken a boatload of damage, but now
So they're pretty fucked.
way back into it. Maybe a timing can be found, and the shot is true. Sugetsu head ripped
Now,
clean off.
I understand why he does this TP. There are many options that you can do with the TP with the Gate Crush from Yoru. He chooses this. This is not like incorrect or correct. This comes from the playstyle, right? He could play safe to go for the B main, for example, with the TP in case for post plant, but he chose to use it in CT. And you can see a huge mistake now being made by Shao. Pay attention to Shao on the minimap.
Does Angel check with enough diligence here? Otherwise,
Shao is gonna be in range of the TP right now, and he's gonna wait for it.
Shao is just tracking.
He knows exactly where the TP is. Look. And he doesn't destroy it. He knows that the opponents are on B side, right? And instead, he's being drawn away by the TP. The best case scenario, the highest win rate play for the defenders here is to destroy the TP, and that's it. And then you can still play. But Shao got baited by the TP, then the fake TP was being used, and just Shao is just completely off position because of that. Sideshow said it as well, just destroy it. Yeah, I mean, he's right.
Just break it.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Off to the side, Artist looks to try and make a moment out of it, a bit of magic maybe.
And somehow this round was a 4v5. And somehow PRX just gets advantage, you know, for no reason at all.
This retake with the operator, never ideal.
Like this overpeak here is fantastic. This is like the moment when you know that this is your cue, otherwise you fuck. This is fantastic, like, game sense from Forsaken. Those are the moments when you are like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna get this kill. Like, that's 100% I'm getting this kill. You know?
With that swing, it's too clean. Utility in the hands of his opponents, and Artist not even allowed the luxury of saving that operator.
And the post plants are looking fantastic for PRX. Mind Freak doing his job perfectly.
Hello, Bora.
On those lurk plays. And I think that's going to be such a challenge for FPX to deal with.
How much do you dedicate of resources, utility to try?
Also, side note, hearing the crowd just added so much to this game, I agree. It was fantastic. Why didn't they get the operator? I don't think it just fits the way they play this composition.
Hello there.
If you didn't hear me like talking about the composition itself, rewatch the VOD at the beginning. I explain how this composition works.
Back when we used to see them play this
First time going A. TP is being set up for the first pyramid. He already TP'd after the stun, you can see here, right? Essentially, the most aggressive corners are being cleared by this stun. And then most likely, no, the Vi is super far away. Then never mind, because I wanted to say that the Vi probably is gonna flash here as well, but in like on the pyramid. But he's so far away, he's not able to. So if Forsaken TP's over here, but he's just doing a fake anyway. So it's okay. But there's the flash here. See, there's the flash on the pyramid. So yeah, that was the plan. It's probably the plan for the other situations. Look at that clown. Wait. What happened with the clown? Yeah, not a fan of the clown. Not a fan of the clown. I would much rather use the clown in a direction towards double doors than towards like into the smoke. I think so. I think Forsaken still sometimes just wings it and doesn't think about like how to use the utility. Like that's something that we talked about Bind. Like you guys remember when he said like, oh, I just didn't know what to do with the clown, so I'm just using it here. And that's a big thing. The clown is the most prized utility in my eyes from Yoru. It's insane value.
The post plant's locked down, now a fast lane. Just dodging to the side a bit. Angle being found to get.
The map was interesting why FPX players don't want to pick chamber. Understand? Bora, if you want to understand why there's no chamber, I went super in depth about that at the beginning of this VOD review. So you need to rewatch the VOD because it was like 10 minutes about me explaining why there's no chamber here.
But again, it's safe, passive post plant positioning being played.
Rolling thunder, and they've got a star on the spike.
Yeah, it's 4v5 against an eco, but because it's a 4v5, right? Because Forsaken was a little bit out positioned. Like look at the position from Forsaken right now, right? Does he have a TP ready? We don't even know. No, he doesn't. So he just pushes against an eco, and he's a stationary target against the sheriff, so he just dies. And now he gives the weapon. Like, this is something that I heavily dislike about PRX, and I'm talking about this every round. Over-aggressions, not knowing where to stop. Like, this is a low buy, they know. And now because Forsaken died and gave that one weapon, PRX needs to sacrifice utility.
passive post-plant positioning.
Those ultimates need to be sacrificed against an eco.
It's going to be incredibly difficult to try and get away with this one. The Nightfall.
They know that they've
Connection
detected
onto so
all
many of them.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, Mindfreak could just be running at them right now, and he is.
No one quiet on it now to Rolling Thunder. Overlapping all of the abilities, all of the ultimates. The timing being taken. The space gain off of it. PRX. Never letting their foot off
I
the
think
gas.
Forsaken use your flash advice a lot more now. I didn't see it yet,
The breeze
so we'll
of
see.
the game has never been shifted so far.
But we also seen only one Yoru time on bind as well, and that bind was pretty bad. So I mean they got crushed, so not much you can see. But this is a round won by PRX, but it's not won. It's actually lost. The value on this round is lost. It was an eco, and they sacrificed the 2 most powerful ultimates that they could use on a full buy round. Like, this is a huge value lost.
They've got a great understanding of what they want to do with it. How long does it take?
So this is a problem. This is a problem for PRX, and the reason why they had to use it is only because of their biggest problem, which is overheating.
Still positioning, at least given up early, but time to.
Yeah, still 10 seconds for them to set up, but
When did we start calling the clown clone? Because Forsaken was I think that's just his English accent. He just said clown against instead of clone, and then we just adapted it, you know?
only having a discussion about their positioning in spawn here.
Remember, guys, I had insane fun watching this match. I'm just hypercritical right now because I'm doing a VOD review. So I want to expose everything that was happening from both sides.
But look at the positioning of PRX. They look like they want to send this thick.
Now, but yeah, imagine now they have Davai and Benkai on ults. Fuck me. B-side is like wrecked. There's just no way of stopping this. You need to play retake. When those 2 ults are available, you can't. You're just getting fucked on site. But unfortunately, they use everything.
What is the play here?
And they have the Cosmic Divide as a kind of quasi-Viper wall that they could use.
It's so funny to see because look at the Viper's wall. This wall, it's only used because they play against this composition. This wall would have never been used ever against any other team comp. This is an adaptation by Angel. He knows that most likely the dash will go through here or TP in those positions. So he wants to be able to isolate fights against those players without being exposed to B main. Like, it's so funny, man.
Some of the block they angle off. They have to be cautious though. They know the money online means that could be seen that operator in buy, of course.
And also this comes the Mindfreak ultimate, which is essentially a Viper wall here.
Has it, but he's in a completely different location. And now the Cosmic Divide and the fast lane.
Although I heavily dislike now the Jing wall. Why is he using the wall? Right? This is like, I think, slight miscommunication from PRX. I think Jin just used the wall because it's just a reflex for him. And this is, I think, misplay because it just limits the vision that PRX could have here while going onto the site, and I think it was very, very important for PRX to have more vision, and this wall from Neon actually ruins the plan.
Any hopes of holding that angle to the side just going to be denied, but space given up. Angel, in fact, working his way off to the side. Could be able to catch a player or 2.
And Jin caught by the recon, but couldn't be punished. The ult from Mindfreak finding big value. Surely Artist. Surely not Artist.
Dash enabled, flash as well, he connects. Does he want
Okay, that wasn't a good flash, by the way, because Forsaken just literally just didn't even have to dodge.
True, the answer is no. The Seeker up close. Arsenal now with the wall denied. Coming through, the dog does so.
Oh, wait.
No, the Seeker up close.
Forsaken didn't have a single piece of utility, so yeah, he just gets wrecked. But it's like tough. Like he plays this position because that's his position. Like there's nothing that Forsaken, like there's nothing you can say, oh, Forsaken through. This is just like he took the angle that he had to be playing in, you know, and he had nothing to support himself. The other players are just playing on post plant. But the problem is, this is the round where this post plant is not a good decision because of the smoke from the Viper. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? Like this is the actual, like, it's so weird because if they would kill the Viper, it's most likely GG. because there's no smoke in B main. But they didn't kill it, and they play post plant. Like, it's so weird to see that PRX has the discipline when they didn't get the positioning to be cleared for them, you know? They have Odin. Yeah, but the problem is, so my guess is that the Odin is being used because they want to spam through this wall here, through this position here, and they want to spam into the player that is being, like, is diffusing. But I don't know, man.
He secures it.
I don't know.
The post plan positioning, it's so passive through the choke point. They just want to try and buy time, push them back.
That's pretty random. But he had 6 AP.
It's an unlucky one. Just his leg being taken out beneath him.
The flash is really not good. Like, I don't know why Davai is using the flash in the tunnel, right? Let's pay attention to the flash from Davai. Hello? Wait.
Push them back, a bit of spam artist, an unlucky one. Just his leg.
See, this flash here, this is really not a good flash. Like, there's no one standing in the B tunnel here, right? And Davai knows about this because he would have been already dead, or someone already would be like, the Neo would have been dead, or someone else would have been already like using anything here, right? So this flash here is not an effective flash. Now imagine if the flash would have been used here on top of the wall, or here on top of the wall. Like, it has almost the same effect, but also flashes everyone on site instead of just flashing people here. And those small things are insanely important because they buy time in the post plant. This flash is inefficient, and 100% it would have been better to just use it here or here. It's probably the best to use it on this wall because it gets a wider angle.
Being taken out beneath him. A flash to push them back. No one is on this one. In fact, look, still the star in play. A tap, a bit of timing now. Alert comes through. Sugetsu, he could be a difference maker. He at least gets 2, but just down to Angel. At the time, the pressure just far too much.
Remember that when Odin spams through the smoke, you can see the traces. So the Odin player can be killed pretty easily. I think can't flash there. The area is grayed out. Could be wrong. Let's check that. Let's check it. Let's check it. Update? Never mind. Hello, Phoenix. I like checking stuff like this, so yeah. Let's see. Doesn't the flash get the Sova? Atrak, but... or Atra. The same flash that I showed would have also gotten the Sova. Ah! My favorite thing to walk up to. Oh wait, we have Night Market. Oh. Oh. 17%. Oh. 26%. 2 golden ones. Let's see. 27% and 36%. Yeah, but still, thank you, no thank you. All right, play custom, Breeze. The flash wasn't completely, I mean, yeah, of course it's not completely used. I explained it just had one angle, you know? But the flash was really inefficient. Can you please show me the ugly ass chair? Because I woke up too late. The ugly ass chair, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Other job. No more, no less. My ult's ready.
Alright, let's see if you can flash for the wall. Let's see. Of course you can. Of course you can. Yeah. Like the difference between flashing here, right? And flashing here is just insane. It's just insane. So yeah. This is a huge one. This is an absolutely huge one. But, you know, it's worth checking it out. Not gonna lie, the comp was good, but they should have played Viper instead of Yoru or Chamber for defense control. No, they should not. And I explained why they played this composition at the beginning of this VOD review. You can go back and listen to that explanation.
Revealing area. Found them.
Yo, T-Humps left ankle, thank you much for the prime. Welcome to the family. Could you introduce yourself to us? It'll be absolutely splendid. How you doing? Does that position matter with the flash? Of course it matters. Like, it's insane. Like, the difference between being flashed there or not is insane. Like, the retake is happening. The plant is here. And the flash here doesn't flash anyone who stands in this position, in this position, in this position. Like, none of those people are getting flashed. But if the flash lands on this spot, instead of this spot for the flash, if it lands here or here, here, like on the top as well, you are not able to dodge this because it's out of your screen and you still get fully flashed, right? And then it flashes literally everyone on site. The only player that wouldn't be able to be flashed is the person that is standing here, but they would have the contact on a person standing here. You know? How does it feel to sit on a 10k Polish zlotys chair? It's insane. It's insane. It's like it's exactly the same like with mattresses. I slept on a shit mattress my entire life, and then when we moved in with my wife to the new apartment, we bought an actual good mattress, and it's like at that point you question yourself, why didn't I spend more money on a mattress before? You know?
And these PRX rounds are looking gorgeous. Every plan that they've run through in theory, working in practice. After those first 3 rounds that FPX have put on the board,
Which team you were supporting in the finals? I don't support any teams. I just like to see cool Valorant, and this was cool Valorant, but undisciplined cool Valorant, but very entertaining to watch.
they can't stop the site hits, and they can't win the retakes. But everything has been on B. All right, time to test the theory, Brent. FPX are back onto an eco. Do PRX go A?
Oh yeah.
Certainly looks like it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
It's there, isn't it?
I wonder if Angel can get a read on this as well.
Positioning though, I mean the players are so deep into spawn here.
Alright, so this is the same execute that they did before against an eco. But if Forsaken is gonna TP here against an eco, even if he gets the kill, it's a mistake.
Fire comes through. It's a gate crash into the corner. This Viper wall does do a lot to try and slow down.
I actually can't remember if he did or not, so let's see.
Don't want to disrespect this one too much. They could just get destroyed in the blender that is this choke point. In fact, case an example right here. Artis, great opening pick for them, but the wall goes
So he
down
used
now.
the fake.
Trying to slowly accrue a bit of that space. What a shot! Divide dropped down to 5 health, but not enough to secure that kill.
These
Against an eco, Forsaken overplays his hand. There's absolutely no reason to do this.
Not enough to secure that kill.
these players on
And he crouches against the sheriff.
It dropped down to 5 health, but not enough to secure that kill.
Look, he literally crouches out in the open against the sheriff and insta dies. The moment he crouches, look. Boop. The moment he crouches, he dies.
These players on site are struggling here.
So aggressive.
This A site hit, it's getting mopped up.
It's getting so
Overpeaks
sloppy as well,
again.
FPX.
Like,
Heads being found. Guns
it
being
pisses me so much, man. I hope that Forsaken will watch this VOD and not hate me. But I hope he will learn from it. They're so close to being an insane team. They're so close. They're already really good. Mechanically, they're better than 99% of the other players. But the overpeaks, not reading the economy, and using, because of that, being forced to do stupid stuff and lose ultimates against like ecos is just abysmal, man. If they fix that, if they fix those discipline things, they're gonna be crushing everyone.
And Defy's gonna look for a lurk with 5 health and an Odin.
So me and Yoning did the exact same thing. We invested into a very good mattress, but we put it upside down, so it was hard side up. We couldn't sleep well for a week until we realized what happened. Good one.
Start distracting now as he starts tapping the plant. Does this turn eyes? Does this get Defy a free one?
The timing on it.
And everyone goes, whoa! And I can guarantee you that players will be like, wait, what the fuck? Why is the crowd reacting like this?
Still a 2v3 though. FPX in.
Do you think PRX will win champions? If PRX will fix the discipline flaws for champions, I think they're actual contender for the title for champions. Of course, this is in vacuum, right? Because other teams maybe will advance even more. But PRX has the only thing they need to fix is the discipline, is the post-plant positioning and not overheating. If they fix that, if they literally change their playstyle, after because they have the best playstyle to play Valorant in the openings. They have insanely strong openings, insanely strong executes, but the thing they lack is that they don't have the discipline to change their playstyle once the playstyle started working. Because you need to adjust your playstyle to the moment in game. And they have great playstyle for openings, but their playstyle is not working for after the openings. And they need to be disciplined to stop doing their playstyle the moment it should not be effective.
Theory should be favored into this one.
And I love that Mindfreak goes for a pick as he anticipates, or Mindfreak, sorry, goes for a peek as he anticipates everyone looking towards Defy. He knows that he'll have a little less stress on his shoulders.
Do you think ranked play translates much more in PRX players to other teams? I don't think it's ranked play or anything. It's just Apex just has this very aggressive playstyle, but PRX is just so much better than their local competition that it doesn't matter much, you know?
But he's gonna find positioning on the site.
Like this round is won because they just have to play aggressive in a 2v4, you know? But this should never been even like played like this. The only reason why they lost five players, the reason why they lost 5 players and are not able to build up the economy is because they play over aggressively against an eco, and they are putting themselves in this unfavorable position in the first place.
The gun advantage. Look at the replay here. Mindfreak, even before this actually, was taking mostly duels against players that had sheriffs.
Let's go!
No, thank you.
The crowd seems firmly on the side of PRX. A lot of cheers for these guys.
Shouldn't this even be a win for FPX considering a 4v2? I mean, yeah, they have a huge advantage, but they lose the Sova player on mid, so it's a 3v2. And after that, they just have no idea what's going on, and PRX gets the positioning, the aggressive positioning, which is the way, like, when you have a disadvantage in a post plant like this, like 2v4, you need to be taking fights. That's literally, like, when you think about it, PRX plays like they always have a disadvantage in post plant, even when they have the advantage.
I think from our point of view, Ren, there are clear things that FPX can try to work with. Our paper, all of these things.
But don't you buy YouTube Premium during VCT Masters? Because then I will forget about it. And I don't really use YouTube apart from watching VODs. Alright, so this is a new one. This is a 2v2, 2-1-2 split is very interesting. I think this is only because Mindfreak wants to get the orb. But why is Benkai not getting the orb? That is so odd. Anyway, I think Benkai's ultimate is just much more valuable here. But I'm guessing Astra is getting it. And also, you can see on the minimap how PRX, FPX again adjusts the defense for the really weird composition from PRX. Those traps are only made here because of the Yoru and Neon. The same like the Viper wall. I think FPX adjusts on the fly very well to how the opposing team plays. Like, I think they really do adapt very well.
Again, how has he got the Cosmic Divide online once more?
Looks like he's just used it.
And so this is the first time that
You have a talent for breaking down things, so hard to understand what's going on in the moment. Thank you, my friend. I hope to, like... I think this VOD review, like, I try to explain... I'm still gonna miss something because we don't have demo. We only have the VOD from the actual broadcast. But once we have demos, this could be done even better. But yeah.
It's been a B push every time. In the
Took your advice and stopped filling and double ranked up into Ascendant for the first time.
these rifle v rifle.
Very happy to hear that, my friend. Very happy that my basic advices are working, you know?
For either side.
Slowed down for about a moment, but eventually...
All right, so again, ultimate from PRX to imitate. Oh my god, the word. To imitate the Viper wall, and then the Rolling Thunder just clears the entire thing. But again, this neon wall is useless. This neon wall is absolutely useless in here. You don't want to see this neon wall. Look at the minimap. You see the red wall that goes across between the Cypher traps? This is something that is completely unneeded. It actually helps the defenders to defend from this ult from Breach. The Breach ult wants to expose them. The wall helps the opponents to be safe because they are not being spotted. If so, like, this is such a huge problem. This is such a huge problem for this. Like, this execute is so hard to fucking stop. You know? It's so hard to fucking stop because what they do is, look, it's actually crazy. It's almost impossible to stop this. I really like this execute, and this is something that PRX is doing great. So this is the Astra Divide, and then you have the Bridge Ultimate being used like this, right? And then they use also the pull is being used, I think, here, if I'm not mistaken. And then the stun as well here, I think. Right? Let me check. You don't see this on the minimap, so I need to pay attention, like...
Slowed down for about a moment, but eventually the pace must resume, and there's the rolling...
Great timing by Forsaken, by the way, because he avoids the ultimate from Breach and he gets out after the wave goes in. No, there's not a single star being used, actually. So they don't even do anything there. Jing Dai buys by the way, to the spam. Oh, okay, never mind. There is one, but I think it's misplaced. I don't like this. Because... see? This pull is... I think there's some miscommunication here. Because... fuck. Ah, man. This could have been so much better. Like, the neon wall literally fucks over Forsaken. You either don't play this like Forsaken, and then this neon wall is like okay with this pull, because you want to bait people into standing here. But in general... like this neon wall that they use here, I think it's insanely detrimental to how the team wants to play this. Because when they put the fast lane... what? Ah, shit. When they put the fast lane like this here, right? Like this. this is just detrimental to how they want to play this. Like I really don't like this. This is the actual execute, and I really don't like this. Like the Astra Divide bridge ult into Gravity Well somewhere backside would have been absolutely devastating and would have been much more smoother for the attackers than, and the Neon Wall gravitational pull actually plays against the ultimate that they did with bridge. You know? This execute gave the Cypher more chance to survive, I reckon. Yes. If they wouldn't use the Neon Wall and the Gravity Well, the execute is just good enough, while not giving the odds for the opponents to have time to recover from this stun from the breach. And what is also very important, this Neon Wall and this gravitational pull gave the player on site enough time to use his own utility. Fortunately for PRX, they have a Cypher who doesn't have utility, essentially, so he couldn't use like anything to stop and counterplay the potential push from Yoru. So I think I love this Cosmic Divide bridge ult, but I think it's absolutely unreasonable to use the Neon Wall and the Gravity Pull in that position. Forsaken is right here, like he got 80 damage by one bullet. He could have literally died with 2 bullets hit his body. So, yeah. And look, he has his ultimate right now. Forsaken, 100% should be using his ultimate right here. But instead he gets exposed. Like, that's another mechanical mistake that I think that many Yorus do when they are not, like, don't have this ingrained. Look how Forsaken dies. He doesn't need to be exposed to do this. He doesn't need to overstep his boundaries to use this TP here. You can stand behind the wall and use it like the clown. You can put the TP on this wall and the TP will curve over and go into this direction. But as well, I think Forsaken should just insta use his ult and give the info on where the players are exactly standing. So Davai can flash off the next player or Aftershock or whatever, right? The C's can be used as well effectively.
Turn fire once more, but he oversteps himself. Utility in his hands and his hit has gone skew.
And I think this is an actual outcome of the bad Neon Wall. Because it just gave time for the rotations to happen, you know? But in the other time, Mindfreak just got the entire A side. But the problem is he's not certain that he doesn't have anyone here, but this is well played. This is really well played right now because they butchered the B execute because of the Neon Wall and the gravitational pull and 4 seconds overpeak, right? So they make it work, like in a different way. And this is very good. Mindfreak just got all the map control as a lurker. They leave now, they swap the roles. This is very important. Now, Mindfreak was the lurker to gain the control of A. He got this. So now he's like the anchor player that just controls the spawn. He doesn't need to peek anything. He just needs to give info. And then the Breach swaps the roles with the Astra. Now the Breach becomes the lurker, right? The player goes to spawn, to spike the plant, to plant the spike on A side. And the Breach is now the lurker this round. They swap the roles between themselves, which is very important to understand because now the Breach will need to give info how many players are rotating where and when. What are the possibilities? Because he's gonna hear the audio cues. There's no way that someone will be shifting. At some point, someone is gonna start running, you know? And Mindfreak just can't die. Like, Mindfreak just cannot die. So this angle is not the best, but it's also unpredictable, right? So he might get 1, and 1-for-1 is not the best, but it's also pretty okay. But if he gets 1 and goes away, then he's most likely round winning.
And that's decent for one time. That's decent information that he can pass over to Benkai.
Yeah, I found it interesting how they change who is the lurker and such. Yeah, because you need to be flexible. This is also happening in CS a lot of times. But that's not something that many teams understand. And now the plant is great. And I'm not gonna lie, I know what's gonna happen in this round, so I'm not gonna spoil it if someone didn't see it. But it could have been won by if it wouldn't be a small mechanical mistake. But let's watch it. So Shao is now.
Cześć, tu Joanna. Ugotuj ze mną.
So Shao is still going silently through mid, so he's not giving the audio cue for Davai, right? But at some point he's gonna give the audio cue, and this is where Davai hears him. But why is Benkai leaving site is unknown to me. And Mindfreak dies in that really bad angle, right? Look at the minimap. Davai is still there, Benkai is still there, and he just dies to the operator. So, and Benkai, for some reason, runs fucking away and gives an audio cue. No, wait, he's not running. But, like, still, why is he doing this? Why is he not, like, why is he out? Like,
Now running down, but Zipan lurks down, and it's up to Davai.
right?
But now the race is on. Davai,
Oh, like, I don't know why even Davai is trying this jump here. I think this is just nerves, because it's physically impossible to jump on this if you're not a jet from this position.
Davai,
This is impossible. You can't do this unless you're a jet.
spike down.
So he needs to do it from here. He did it, and now he fucks it over.
He's gonna try and get
The dog will not see him because he's too far away from the dog's like blinded vision, right? Like nearsighted vision,
onto it.
You've got to be
right? And this is not a good angle for the spike. The spike is more on the left, but he will be able to get it when he gets the ping.
joking me. You've got to.
The ping goes in. Sorry. And now he needs to move on the backside of the wall. Now he needs to move on the backside of the wall. Here. He needs to be on the backside of the wall, like this, because it's planted here. And he can just be standing here and spamming it through. Right? This is his position here. But unfortunately,
Be kidding me. Planted off to the
he
side.
jumps down. And he loses the round because of that. There was a high chance that he would have won it. But unfortunately, a small mechanical mistake loses them the round here.
Once more.
Has in fact failed them. Mostly because FPX players haven't.
Leandra, one day I will work up the balls to have my tracker reviewed. But for now, thanks for the 6 months of entertainment. Thank you, Leandra. Welcome back.
Contacted down into halls, picked up this kill.
I think Benkai wants to go mid and play the postulate with him. That's just not correct. If Benkai would have stayed, like, what was the utility for Benkai, by the way? Let me check before he dies. Look at Benkai. He has the ultimate, man. He has the haunt. He has the seize. He just needs to stay alive, man. They just need to, like, the proper way of putting like crossfires would be insane. Like if Davai stays alive on this angle on elbow, so he has the post plant here, and if Benkai just stays alive in A main, right? Or just buys time, he can be lurked on. If this guy goes into shop and kills Benkai, shit happens. Like, you can't predict everything, right? But he buys time for that to happen, right? So, and if it doesn't happen, then Benkai is playing from shop and he can use everything on here. Like, he can just do everything. He can put the Hound in the main. He can put the, like, he can just bounce it, right? He just bounces like this and it's great Hound. He just uses the ultimate on here and it's great. But he just dies without having any impact because he overstepped his boundaries. Again, like, not understanding how to play post plants is the biggest problem for PRX. They do everything right in the mid game. You know, in the mid game, they do everything right. Mindfreak also didn't readjust after getting the info, because if Mindfreak would actually, like, look, Mindfreak was playing that really bad position, right? But unpredictable position. So there's a high chance that he gets the kill, but there's also a high chance that he dies after getting one kill, right here. But also when he crouches, he is visible faster for his opponent. If someone is like shifting through here, checking the angles, he's gonna see you before you see him, right? But if Mindfreak, like, I can understand why he plays this. I don't think it's a good decision, but I understand why. But if he just repositions towards here, right? Or even like yellow, Like just here, so he's not exposed to double doors. He just buys so much time. You know?
Position himself somewhere where he's not as exposed. But okay, you got
They still have Benkai's ultimate, by the way, right now. And Forsaken ult. Like, this is the round where Benkai Forsaken should be comboing it.
rifle for rifle, and it looks like
Benkai is using... sorry, Forsaken is using a TP through double doors. Let's see where it lands. Okay. So he... Okay. So he pops the ultimate before he TPs. He TPs to yellow.
There, back around the side of yellow.
He gets the info on the player. I think this is a waste. I think this is really inefficient. I really think this is really inefficient. Forsaken could have just used the ult for double doors. Just go for double doors, give the info where the players are standing, you know? And then Benkai can ult whoever is exposed on the minimap. Like, I really dislike this. Because the TP here is being used for no reason at all. Because the same could have been on Shiv with the ultimate that was popped anyway. He saved literally like 1 second of the ultimate. But instead, he would have used the ultimate to get the info for Benkai where to use his ult. Right? And look, the player's not even affected. Like, there are 2 players on site that are not being affected by anything. I think this is really misplayed. Like, misplayed hard by PRX. They have the tools. They don't have a Sova, right? Like, think about it this way. They don't have a Viper, and they don't have a Sova. But they do have Neon Wall, Astra ult, and Yoru ult. Right? Those are the substitutes for those key pieces that normally you would have in this composition, but they don't use it when they have it. Like, we have seen the Astro ult being used for the Viper wall, but then the value of it was being brought down because other people were not using the they were not using the proper utility for them to get max value. And now they have the Forsaken ult, which is essentially a Sova drone on steroids, but they don't use it as a Sova drone on steroids, and instead they use it as a post-ultimate scout, which makes no sense. It's reversed. Like, Yoru should be the drone to get maximum value out of the ultimate from Benkai, and then when the Yoru has the Q who got affected by the Benkai's ultimate, that's where he strikes. You know?
They crash there, back around the side of yellow, but that's going to be the ult.
And now it's just like...
Artist though, claims a kill.
Yeah, this is really inefficient. This is like really inefficient. This round makes me sad. It could have been perfect, but it was... The roles were reversed.
It's an awesome kill by Mindfreak there. Zipan was posing a major problem for them over at stairs. And now the round can slow down. But there wasn't really a lurk.
PRX are contractually obligated to get 3rd kill in around 5 seconds after first 2, and also to play postponed as early as possible.
Watch towards switch.
That's some funny shit.
There's still so much time in a round that PRX happy again to just let that mid round apply the pressure itself. If they make no noise, it's up to FPX to try and at least get a bit of information. And there's the swing into mid. So
well, it's a 50-50.
The information play once more, finding value for FPX. Benkai just gets the horn back online. Divide trying to see if he can get a targeted fault line, but Artist dodged it.
What a shot still. The disrespect
5 HP after the aftershock.
Almost goes down from it, but with the time
Yeah.
down to just 20 seconds. Divide picks up the operator. It looks like it's going to be the safe play.
10 seconds, the clock ticking down. No hope for PRX. And here come the FPX chants.
All right, well, this is a save.
So, yeah, you don't necessarily need the Viper wall. He's closer to fulfilling. but there is a hair's breadth between these two teams.
Of course.
I honestly do believe that this composition from PRX, I think it could be a meta for the teams that have like a playstyle that can benefit from it. So like PRX. But it needs to be executed a little bit better. The ideas for PRX are here for the attack, but they are not executed properly because sometimes there's too much utility when there's not needed. Sometimes it's not enough utility, and sometimes the utility is being used in a reversed like order, you know? And by the way, again, look at the minimap. Another adjustment by FPX to counter the Neon Yoru positioning. Like, it's so funny to see. But FPX is really good at like improvising the defenses for this unorthodox composition.
That we have in the tournament. And they've both turned up.
What's the point of Breach in this composition? Breach has fantastic range of his utility to play with aggressive duelists like Yoru and Neon. If you want to hear why this composition works, like why is this composition built like this way, you need to rewatch the beginning of this VOD review, because I spent like insane amount of time of explaining why this composition is being built this way.
It's anyone's to take.
Both faced obstacles throughout this tournament.
I understand why Forsaken does this. Like, Forsaken does this let me change the character. Like, Forsaken does this TP. I really don't dislike it, but I understand why. Like, what Forsaken does is he puts the TP, fuck me, like this, right? To change to his position here without being spotted from the window. But I heavily dislike this because he's just now using this and he's like all in. Like, he doesn't have the second TP, right? He doesn't have the second TP. So I think like repositioning from the window to here, I think it's inefficient. But I understand why he does it, because he wants to be ultra safe. But the thing is that you don't need to be ultra safe because there's the Viper smoke here. So why do you like in almost all of the rounds, the Viper wall the Viper smoke is being used in B main. So why do you want to sacrifice the TP to TP across here if you can just jump down when the smoke is up? You know? Like, that's something that, like, this is like the min-maxing, the hypercritical min-maxing that I really think is important at some point, because you cannot get max value otherwise, right?
One would argue that FPX maybe with the harder task in terms of how they've been battling through the lower bracket, but it has forged them into something else entirely. The teleport into the back there.
And again, Forsaken does this super aggro eco TP with a Sheriff. He doesn't even have a chance because the 250 milliseconds are crucial. Like, he doesn't even have a chance. See? Like, he's dead before even he can pull out a gun. And maybe if he had a Ghost or a Stinger, he actually had a choice. I think he also misclicked because he wanted to TP inside of the smoke. But he mistimed it.
Seen that play before. Angel's more than ready. And Artis as well returns fire. The angle locked down with the operator. The overdrive is denied. Every player toppling. But Jing returns again.
If he gets the like third kill here, it will have been insane. But yeah, this is like a semi-eco. Anyway, Hezo, thank you much for the 3 months. Welcome back, broski. How are you doing?
Players onto the B site. Within moments of the initial pieces of utility being dropped, FPX are rotating players there instantly. Choosing, I mean, the read is perfect from FPX.
Were you happy with the MVP's decision from this game? I don't even know who won the MVP.
Great adjustments.
Last round, 5 Vandals, small shields for 2 of them, no ultimates. And Davai is 1 off. There's a chance at getting some value here if they want to play a little bit slower, but they don't go for it. TP, oh, okay, look at the combo here. So stun to clear the most potential angles for the players to stand in, and then TP from Yoru on the side.
Angle, and why not pop the Blade Storm off? You feel the pressure
But
being applied.
unfortunately, Jet is a fucking broken character, so there's no way of punishing her.
Forsaken's so deep. I don't see how artists could read this.
So much to get through as well. All the way down into Horse. It's going to be a fast lane that Jing's
But I really like the repositioning from Yoru, and he has a TP to back away from. But what I don't really understand is, what is Jin doing right here? Why the fuck
It's going to be a fast lane that Jing's been able to
is he dying here? He just died for no reason. He opened the doors and he just looks at A side and literally throws the round for PRX here. Like, I know they're gonna win it, but Jing dying here, there's absolutely zero value that he brought, because he opened the doors, he made sure that people are just scared of him, but he should not, like, he should never be exposed to any angle. He should just be going away and going back to their team, because right now they already have a lurker. This round Yoru is the lurker, and Jing should be just repositioning back to his team.
And it has injected that chaos into the round, but Zippany just contains it regardless.
If
Hello,
Jing
Sophie.
hadn't used his fast lane, Forsaken would have had a free kill, but now he's getting droned out.
No way!
Did you spot him?
Running around the side.
He used the clown peak. He used the clown peak, but he did it a little bit too early. I think he was just spooked by the headshot that he got through the box. He used the clown peak, but he peeked too early. Let's see it. Ah shit, we didn't see exact. Yeah. He peeked too early because he was certain that Shao already picked like wide angle, but Shao actually was wide swinging. So, so Forsaken peeked a little bit too early, man. That's unlucky.
Locks that angle. And it's up to Artis. He can feel the approach, the Blade Storm, the updraft.
They lost the round? Oh, okay. Well then.
But now Hunter's Fury, anything to help him out. It's the 1-4-1.
Angel spent the entire round inside his Viper's pit, overbuying A main. That means he's got...
No, wait. They win this round. This is actually an insane throw by FPX.
Blank here. And for PRX, they've got to force...
It's a 2v3. So this is like... This is the moment where PRX like is playing correctly. Because it's like a 2v3. They need to be aggressive. They cannot play post plan. They need to be the aggressors here in this post plan because they play disadvantage.
The fight. They know that they're at a player disadvantage. They can't go for the back. The safe.
This is where PRX thrives. Oh, they don't win it? Well, never mind. But still, FPX didn't play this correctly. Like, look at this shit. Angel gets the fucking kill. 3v1. And they know where the player is.
Angel's already flanked around. Benkai's positioning. Removed. Taken out.
Angel oversteps his boundaries. Right? The two players in CT didn't even move. Like that's so disjointed.
It's one, but he has a mighty task.
Spacing between the players from FPX is just abysmal in this round.
Isolates it.
And Shao has to fucking clutch it. Like,
Clutch, but Shao reigns supreme.
You just can't out-clutch Shao.
why this Skydog didn't hit? He just went away. Like, just didn't hit because it wasn't good enough. It needs to be a direct hit. But it's like
He's been a monster
the spacing between the players from FPX. When I was doing the VOD review from FPX, I was talking about it a lot. FPX doesn't have good spacing between their players. They are very disconnected when doing the retakes or actual executes. They are disjointed. You know, they are disjointed.
Winning round after round after.
He had the breach ult that was unlucky. He didn't use it. I mean, this is such a high pressure situation, and the guy is too close to ever use it. This is a good call that he didn't go for the ultimate. He had no way of using the ultimate here. If you would pull out the ultimate, he probably would have be dead because the player would peek, and then we would be like, oh my god, why did he use the ultimate? So stupid, you know?
The clutch, but Shao reigns supreme.
You just can't out-clutch Shao.
Sunder, match with it 4 months. Welcome back, broski. How you doing?
He's a great player online, but he's been a superstar here offline. Winning round after round after round for FPX. What an attempt by Divide. What a great try.
Oh, the frustration.
Seeping in.
Pomysły znajdziesz w sklepach i w nowym katalogu projekty.
When it feels like there's a final boss on the other side that you just can never get through.
Can you decrease the ult offset for breach by aiming towards the ground? No, you can't. I'll show it to you. Let me check. Maybe change. Breach. It doesn't change on the minimap when you're looking further, or like it's always the same range, so you can't really offset it. It's just how it is. You know, and the reason why the breach ult is used like this is because imagine if the breach ult would have been like exactly like fade ult, it would be impossible to play it in ranked. Breach would have to be the first player ever, because he would literally bop his teammates all the fucking time. Like, it needs to be like that, because it would be really awkward to use the breach at all. You know?
You can realize why they might end up being frustrated.
Radiates through, doesn't it? That's going to be the first half here on our final map of the Grand Finals. Desk, take it away. What have you got for us?
Thank you very much, Bren and
Not go both duel.
I have a question about chamber TP. Can you block enemy chamber TP if you smoke the TP itself? No. It doesn't require line of sight, it just requires the range. I feel like the VCT commentators rarely appreciate the little details during the round. They just hype out whatever team wins just for the entertainment. It's hard to cast this live. It's really hard. Like, it's really hard.
Look like they're trying to take a fight in cave early on.
Like, to be able to dissect this composition on live broadcast and appreciate all the small plays, like, you would have to be very focused on this, and like, probably that wasn't the angle that the casters wanted to do, you know?
And Jing not going for his fast lane this time. Has a stun in hand with the Ghost.
Already the disrespect being shown!
No way that Jin actually has a fucking reverse on his gears.
How does he get that?
He just wants to just fight.
He's
Over
swinging.
and over again.
He's swinging before he's even ready to shoot his second shot with the Ghost. And yet he still finds Zipan's head. This guy's got such talent. But FPX are not going to let it rattle him.
No. Gotta stay calm. Situations like this, it's a huge advantage.
I remember being proud of Jing for running away there, right? In 9 out of 10 situations, Jin would have fucking crouched and tried to get the second kill, or like repeat 4 times the same angle.
Can easily turn it around.
For your favorite VCT casters, I think Mitch and Tom are the actual best duo. I think they have the best entertainment / actual breakdowns info, which is the most accurate in my eyes to what is happening in the game.
Paralyzed by ignorance. They don't know what PRX have planned. They've never played against a team comp like this. They don't know if Forsaken's going to be going aggressive with his teleports. They need to play spread and play...
Forsaken had the TP. He's stuck in this position. I'm not sure if I agree with this. I know that this is an actual option, but he's playing a Sheriff. And he's playing in a position where the Sheriff, when he has no TP, is going to be fucked. And I think this is a mistake that he does here, that he stays in this position just because of the weapon that he has. This gun doesn't benefit from this angle. Like, you really don't want to play this angle against a fucking eco who's like, they're very mobile. No one is gonna fucking crouch here, you know? They're all gonna be running with guns, like with pistols and shit. They're gonna be very mobile. So you're fucked in this position. And if Forsaken TPs out of this position for that TP on backside, I think that would be the correct choice.
Might end up here being paralyzed by ignorance. They don't know what PRX have planned. They've never played against a team comp like this.
Made a comment about whoever wins the second half pistol proceeds to win the map for every game in this series. I got Jins in this game. I think that's a useless comment instead of actual analysis, but you know. I don't understand why there's so much shit to break down during this game. Like, if I would be on the desk, I would literally not have time. Like, I would be so pissed because I wouldn't have much time to actually explain what is happening. Why is, like, there's so much shit that you can talk about this game. FPX fucking adaptation to the unorthodox composition from PRX. Why PRX is playing this composition in the first place? You don't even have to go into details, right? About how PRX is playing it, but you can just talk about why they're playing it. And then instead, like, you have useless air filling time for no reason at all.
To try and figure out what the game plan is.
4 seconds TP expires here, I think. Yeah, because he didn't TP out. But he should have TP out.
You have to hope it's not too late.
A close angle by Forsaken, I believe the drone earlier. Not quite catching him.
And now he's fucked.
Going up. Slide off angle. How are they still finding these kills? Bit of a jiggle there with a movement. Shao eventually gets
That's the problem.
But on the other side of things,
oh!
we managed to open it up. Hey, oh my word, PRX. Spike's still going to be stuck down the fault line. Gives him a huge advantage into this one. Artist, though, now all the pressure in the world. A prowler in his face, a flash, a tap at a spike. He has to stick this one.
I understand why they played like this, and I think this is okay. This is like the PRX style. They almost threw, right? They almost threw, but Davai gets the info, time. So they were pushing because of the timer, right? To stop the plant. And I think that's correct. And fortunately, Davai didn't go like full fucking PRX because he actually played the time.
He has to stick it or win.
I mean, he actually picked here, so that's a mistake. Like, literally, it's already won. It's already won. And Davai actually repeaks. And could have lost the round here.
He has to stick it or win this 1v1, and Davai, all he needs to do is survive. A heroic effort, but at the end of the day, it's PRX who win it out.
And they take one step closer towards that trophy.
He didn't know if Artist stuck the plan or not during the last try. Wait, what? Did I miss that?
Win this. Artist, though, now all the pressure.
I don't think there was a plant after he gets the kill on Benkai.
A prowler in his face, a flash, a tap at a spike. He has to.
Oh, he did.
Stick this
Oh,
one.
okay. Never mind then. Never mind. Then proper. Sorry, my bad. Then proper peak by Davai.
Stick it or win this 1v1, and Davai, all he needs to do is survive. He has in his face. Advantage into this one. Artist, though, now all the pressure in the world. A prowler in his face, a flash, a tap at a spike. He has
Proper peak by Davai.
He has to stick it or win this 1v1, and Davai.
Do you think Artist should have done something different then? No, I think Artist played this perfectly. I think Artist played, I mean, not perfectly, but he played it correctly. There were many options that he could have done correctly. Maybe he could have stuck the plan, but he also chose the other option. And I think he played it correctly for his own playstyle. And in that split decision-making moment, he made correct choices. There were other options, which could have also been good. But there's no single play that makes you always win or always lose. The stucking the plant there gives you probably higher odds of winning, but the aggression also gives you an odd of winning. But, you know.
And they take one step closer.
Congrats on your top 4 yesterday in Flesh and Bloods, you and the Nats. I hope that I will go to Nats. Like, it's very close to my second baby being born, so if my second daughter gets born, I might not be on Nats, but we'll see. Hopefully I will be.
Winning the pistol is massive, but the manner in which they did it as well is going to start to scare FPX.
You have the confidence to make plays like this.
How did Jing get the kill through the wall? Jing is just running around trying to take duel after duel.
And we are witnessing the championship mentality, I think, that you need to be able to perform.
I can find a Yoru guide on your YouTube channel because I didn't record one yet. You have on my TikTok a lot of like tips and tricks for Yoru, but I didn't record like a full guide yet because I'm lazy. Oh my god. I remember this one. I don't want to see this again. I really don't want to see this again.
Recon Dart up at the top of mid too as FPX put a premium on owning this area of the map.
Oh my god, it hurts. It fucking hurts, man.
Doesn't want to risk it again, but in the midst of all of this, look at this space that Artis has gained. Bit of a wide swing, so he did make some noise there.
His positioning is known. But perhaps this indicates that FPX...
I like the discipline for PRX right now. I really like the decision making here. They just plant their feet and stand, right? And Breach is controlling if the jet goes into deeper, like, spawn. This is all played so far very well.
PRX
You know?
are running a Sova, they're not running a Sky. They have some informational ability with Benkai, but they're mostly...
But this just hurts me.
For their info.
And the off angle, well, Angel seemed ready for it, wanted to clear it through, a bit of spam into the...
He gets one already. He gets one already, right?
And the off
Look. Just hold it. They need to fucking peek you. You can hold it. You can just hold this angle. Just not do anything. If you go with the flash, there's a high chance you can get one. Sure. But there's a high chance you get 0 because there might be 4 fucking players there.
angle, well, Angel seemed ready for it, wanted to clear it through, a bit of spam.
Like, this is... fuck me, man. And he also crouches. Like, you should never crouch in this situation as well, right? You just go... You wobble like a fucking... Like, you know those like, those inflatable ads? The ones? Like, that should be you against Eco when you have an SMG. You know? You know those ones, right? Those ones. Like you should be this one. This is you with a Spectre against an Eco. This is how you should behave. You know? You should never crouch.
And he saw quite value now, down to 35 seconds in a round though.
Not too much time to work with.
Where's the spike in
You could have gotten wall bang since Jet had a Sheriff. Dude, if Jet hits double headshots for a wall, shit happens. That is a very small chance that this is gonna happen.
It's all about the kills. It's about being able to remove...
You don't think the overpushing was down to pressure? I think the overpushing is a fucking mistake. And that's what PRX always does. They literally gave a weapon as well here. Now the Echo players not only have better positioning, have better map control, and have pressure being done, they also got a gun for free.
Into Jing's Bulldog. That could be a scary prospect.
Smoke drop down there, that's trying to deny something. The shots again rattled off on either side of the map.
And this easy round is not that easy in the first place, you know?
Got dangerous, but
And he lost again. Like, look, fuck me, man. 2 players lost the guns here. Like, this is...
happy with the damage.
This could have been actually a lost round, you know?
Didn't want to save a Spectre and no armor.
What do you think of the Bulldog buy? I think it's okay.
Vandal full armor.
Bulldog on this map is pretty good.
And they did some serious damage over to the PRX bonus. But now we get this question. Has PRX got something crazy prepped for their defense side? And if so, can they make it work? Bind Fracture, that was one of the failures. But they've drawn the final map level.
Conversion at a bonus. PRX be laughing all the way to the bank, wouldn't they? The fault line.
Aggressive, super aggressive push by PRX, right? This is how they play defense. They play it like attack. Let's pay attention to how it's being used. So this is why the breach is being used here, right? Oh my god, Forsaken fucked up the TP. I think he fucked up the TP because it was meant to go towards spawn to have a fast rotation towards A in case the B side is not being... Like, if they clear B and there's no one here, Forsaken should be rotating towards here, but I think he fucked up the TP. And yeah, and it's stuck. It's stuck. That's a huge problem. But now, they just... Look at the position of Breach. Breach can flash into elbow and then stun. Because you can flash through the wall here. Let's see if he uses the flash first.
Version of the bonus. PRX
No, he goes for the stun instead. So it's interesting. I wonder what I would prefer, the flash or the stun. I think I would prefer the flash first because the stun can be useful later, but it's like it's debatable. You know, it's debatable.
Stun, suck, comboed up to punish anybody that would be playing these passive positions.
Incredibly deep as well. Taking the space away from Shao. How much further back can you get? Essentially on the beachfront, but the spam.
And now, and Forsaken does a great job here. He gets the trade and TP's out, which is good.
Spray down. The damage was found on the Forsaken, but
which is good.
Trade that kill.
Unfortunately, didn't get like a perfect trade without losing a player, which would not be a trade, but you know, you understand what I mean.
These are the moments where PRX were occasionally trying to get a bit too funky.
No, you can't pick up the Yoru TP in pre-timer. If it's stuck, it's stuck. But for attack, 4v4 is better? Yes, but this is a bonus round for... in theory, this should be a bonus round for PRX. So playing aggression on this round is not that bad of an outcome for PRX because they equalize the hardware a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't understand why Davai is going for the 50 armor here because he should be at 25. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he already had it. But this should be a full bonus round for PRX. But unfortunately, because they lost 2 players, it's not a full bonus round. Let me check something. Does Davai? Yeah, Davai makes a mistake of rebuying armor. I think.
Can they make it?
3. No. He had armor already, so didn't get damage. I don't understand the buy from Forsaken that he went for the Bulldog. I think he should have bought something cheaper because they wanted to play aggression. So there's some, I think, debatable choices. But I understand why they're playing like this, you know?
A closer hold. Davai wants to hold this down.
And now they're holding the stun for the contact on B. Once the Yoru gets the contact, right, on those players coming from B main, the stun happens here. Oh, that one step is a Q. Oh my god, the Viper made a step. Imagine if this would be like stun. Probably get 2 kills. They still get the kill, like Davai just stuns for himself. And now he goes for the safe flash. I really like this. Ard is completely unaware of the Yoru's position, right? I mean, could have played safer, but I also don't. I'm not surprised. But this is like a huge mistake. Davai dying here, even taking the gunfight, is a huge fucking mistake. Like, this is a huge mistake. In this case, they know that one guy is coming from B main, the other player is from A main. They have full info about the players. Full info about the players, right? Davai's job is to be on site and not die till the other players are coming in closer, because Benkai and Mindtrick are not even fucking close, right? Davai's job is to buy time for the rotation to happen, and then when the 2 players are going into the site, that's where they strike together. But they, like here, this huge fucking mistake. Davai wanted to trade? There's no trade here. Look at the timer when Yoru dies. At 30th second, Yoru dies. 3 seconds later, Breach dies. This is not a trade. This is just a peek.
Not able to get too much done to get to Guardian. This guy's looking far too clean with it, and there's still enough time for him to try and get this plant down. The positioning is gained. Plant gonna be stuck. Cage giving him just enough coverage. But a little bit of favor there. Mindfreak just has to zip away, but what a shot!
Fortunately, they make it work as a 2v2, but this should never even be close. This should have been just a 3v2 retake, and Davai would have probably gotten even the 3rd fucking stun of the round.
And they win out,
you know?
bonus.
No comment on Suigetsu crispy aim there? Yeah, Suigetsu has insane aim. More news at 11.
I thought Suigetsu might be able to get the job done there. What a pillar for FPX. But PRX are so fast on these kind of decision-making moments. Divide grabbing a crucial
Twice. Thank you much for the tier 1. 2 months now. How you doing, broski? Thank you so much for the ongoing support.
So the rest of FPX think that they're both coming from tunnel. And then Ben...
He was trying to get him off guard, but he got flicked, it's all. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if he got flicked or not. The breach should have never peaked. That's the issue. That's the lack of discipline that PRX has.
To get around and backstab the post planters.
Why FPX is losing this round? I mean, because they have to plant in an exposed position and they lose map control. And then the opponents just get good timing on when they are being exposed exactly. Like, PRX in this moment, in the 2v2, know exactly where the players are. So they just peek like with a wall hack.
For the first time in the series, PRX are thoroughly in control. Looking like they're going to edge out a 2-round lead here in the final map and force FPX to play catch-up.
Quick dodge there, the flash that comes
And this is a round where PRX should never be aggressive. I don't know what they will do, I can remember, but this is the round when they should never be aggressive. And I hate the positioning from Devi. I hate the position from Jing. Those two players have no way of falling back. Devi is just stuck here, and he has a weapon that you need to be essentially crouched to use it like efficiently. You can never play this gun while being not stationary, because the thing is with the Odin, right? Look, when you're moving, the gun is completely inaccurate. Like, it goes everywhere. You need to be crouched and you need to be spamming it, right? So you're in a position where everyone knows where you're at and you can't be mobile. Same for rifles? No, because with rifles you can be like jiggle peeking, can just burst 3 bullets while going in and out, and you don't need to hit 2 fucking headshots. It's a huge difference. I really dislike this.
crossfire setup. Quick dodge there, the flash that comes down.
Forsaken just went for a little bit of mid control, that's why he TP'd back to B side. Okay, so I like the fact that Devi repositioned, but he paid the price for the stupid position that he was in. And now he's at half HP and they know about the Guardian in A main. He could have died. He could have literally just died here.
Hey, dangerous times.
And this is one of those positions where Jing, if he doesn't have insane aim, he gets bopped, or he doesn't get any value, and it's still, again, pretty tough.
To take the fight for the choke point. Shuts it down easily enough. Bladestorm now being used by Artis. Feels like he needs to take matters into his own hands.
It's even more egregious considering it's an eco against her. Did I not say that? Okay, then I missed the most valid point that I wanted to make. Like, the position that they took here and here is just terrible against ecos, because if they go for 2-4-2, right? They give 2 weapons to the guys that have no weapons. You should play really fucking long range against ecos.
Seen how nasty Sugetsu is with the Guardian. If Jin goes for some kind of info peek here, there is a potential to get punished.
If only Forsaken played Chamber instead of Yoru, yeah, then this composition would make absolutely no fucking sense. Do you even hear yourself? Think before you type.
And you can see the way that Forsaken's put his...
If Forsaken plays Chamber instead of Yoru, then they should not even play this composition. They should change everything.
Gate crash over towards B. It's going to allow Benkai to get reinforcements if he's under pressure.
It all comes down to the timing, though. Does have an expiration date on it. If FPX ends up
Too bad that we don't see the timer from the Yoru on this utility when the TP is out.
Could be brutal, but don't think he's too worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what happened with the Fade? When did she die? Oh, she didn't die.
He's too worried about it.
The TPs from Yoru were not in a good position. Like I think this is like a mechanical mistake by Forsaken by not setting out a TP that was safe. Like, he didn't set up the TP to be blocked in the backside here, and that's the problem.
Decay as well. Pressured from almost every single avenue, and with the spike drop down, the Bladestorm still renewed. Artis, he might be able to do something with it, but not When Jing is still alive, still on the battlefield.
Dangerous times call for dangerous men. Jing has been a beast in this series so far. And it feels like whenever they need him most, he's able to just pop around a corner and hit a 3K. You see how much chaos PRX inject into these rounds too? Getting this look.
So now it's a full buy for FPX. They have Suigetsu's ultimate, and Zippen is one off. Is Zippen going for the orb?
Looks like a bit more of a pacey play from FPX. Looking at perhaps
No, they are not.
mid control as the rest of PRX.
I don't know, man. So I think this is questionable, but I also understand why they're not doing it. They have a certain plan in mind and they want to execute it. But I really dislike the fact that Zippen is one away from the ultimate and they don't want to play for the ultimate by picking up the easiest orb in the life, which is A main, right? Because think about it this way. You can try to increase the odds of winning this round by getting the ultimate, right? By slowing it down a little bit, right? And readjusting your plan. And then you start executing with the Zippen's ult. But if you don't use it this round and Zippen dies before getting a kill, like he needs to get a kill or the plant to get the ultimate this round. And if they don't get that, and if they lose this round, then this ultimate is stuck being not used for 2 rounds in a row. Because next one, they're gonna be on an eco. So I understand why, but I don't understand the lack of min-maxing. You know?
Floods out of B.
All the way through. 2 stars being used to try and block it off, but look at the approach again. This is FPX. Moving their way through the double doors. Artis already
Nice smoke on the bridge to get the control.
Right into the back of the site.
And how do
I really feel like this should be sky planting. I really feel like this should be sky planting.
With this composition? They have the dimensional drift to work with.
The TP from Forsaken on the backside. He goes for the ult.
And here's Forsaken. Look,
And I don't know. Forsaken does this a lot. He uses the ult into TP. I really dislike this. So this is the second time he does this. And why I dislike this? Look. He has the TP from here, right? So he pops the ultimate from bridge. And then he TPs to side. But the thing is that he could have done this without the TP because he could have just cleared stairs, he could have cleared yellow as a fucking drone, then go onto side, reposition a TP while in his ultimate, so he can go, for example, there's a million ways you can play this out, right? I'm just giving you one. But fuck me, man. He gets essentially the same, like this is the same thing with the ultimate on Fate on attack. I think this is the reverse role of how you should play some characters. Because you get the info just by running out. You are a drone that is like 10 times faster than the Sova drone. And you will clear all those fucking angles. And then when you go onto the side, you can reposition your TP, for example, here into the bricks, right? So you get out of it, you flash, you go out, you TP, you have so much pressure being done. And instead, he just uses his only TP. So once he's out of his ultimate, he's stuck. I can't remember what is happening here, but if Forsaken goes out of his ult and just literally just dies, that's because he made this mistake in the beginning of this retake. So let's pay attention.
here's Forsaken looking to gain information. He can ping out positions on the map for this targeted utility.
What a find!
And he died. See?
He can ping out positions on the map.
He just flashes and goes out, and he just insta dies.
What a find! A flash to find it, but FPX 2 kills. Looking clean in this post plant. Reaffirming the crossfire setups that they've got, the thing that has carried them so far in this tournament.
Yeah, new account being made 2 minutes ago, observing since 1 minute. Unlucky, man. Make a new account to be insulting. This is, so, 100%, the guy is a moron who doesn't want to be exposed because he's in the chat all the time, and he's hiding his toxicity. He doesn't know, like, how to play the game, and he tries to fucking, you know, gaslight me by saying that I'm not a coach, I'm only an analyst, and I don't know what I'm saying. But he's too afraid of doing it on the actual account because he knows he's gonna get exposed. So unlucky.
It's not the cleanest thing in the world, still does the damage, but FPX, they win out the round, an important one at that, ensuring the PRX don't get that lead to run away.
Essentially, PRX had the best ultimate for retaking this, and they didn't use it. By that I mean Forsaken. Forsaken just could clear everything, flash off people, and then TP and like, yeah.
They hit hard. What a rare, fast round coming out from FPX.
Brr.
And what a sick play in the which are fast pushes in this series.
That's why it ends up being so dangerous.
Here
So
comes Jing.
unexpected, but
Here
again,
comes Jing.
yeah, speaking of the pace, speaking of the fast play,
That is so well played by Jin.
right around the side again.
Although, why is he not using his dash?
In this series.
Like, I like how he played it, but it could have been min-maxed.
Here comes Jing.
Yeah, speaking of the pace, speaking of the fast play.
He has his dash. He knows there's a player here. After the stun, he could have dashed. And remember that when you're, because the opposing player was stunned, right? But he could have, like, the thing is, when someone is stunned, he already dashed in mid. That's, I mean, he did it before he popped the ult, right? Let me check.
In this series.
That's why it ends up being so dangerous.
Yeah, so he has his dash. What he does here, look,
FPX have gone for fast pushes in this series.
he dashes before popping the ult. He dashes now here, and then pops the ult.
Here comes
So essentially does this. Let me change the character. Neon.
Hit them fast, hit them hard.
Charge and shoot. Easy enough.
So essentially we are Neon right now,
Spike.
right?
Go, go, go.
We're doing this. We're just running in here, right? We're running in, popping the ult. Oh shit, wait.
Switch it up. Just for fun.
We need to turn off cheats. Wait. Here we go. So we're doing this. Popping it. Dashing, ultimating, dashing again, killing this player, stunning this player. And he could have done this. Which is the higher chance of winning the gunfight, right? Because the player that is stunned in here still has a chance at killing you because he's just like crouching and holding a default, right? So when someone peeks into you, you have a chance at killing him when you're stunned. But
My ult's not ready.
when the Neon does a stun into dash, then there's almost no way that your opponent will kill you because you're breaking his cursor placement while he's stunned, right? And he goes drunk.
Almost done.
And also remember that the ultimate is the only gun that you can use while dashing. Right? You can't use the Vandal while dashing because it gets re-equipped.
Gotta go.
Like you're always late, right? But with the ult, see?
Here we go. My ult's ready.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Running low.
But
Here
again,
comes Jing.
yeah, speaking of the pace,
Hey,
speaking of
Serge.
the fast play, lets the stun ball rip right around the side again, and he knows the positioning, he knows to get to is isolated, but Artis responds in kind.
Mind Freak a little bit
Staircase.
in an awkward position.
Still in play. Tip tap of his feet, just trying to run around the map, but the positioning, of course, is going to be known here, but he ends up slowing it down.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't shoot the ultimate while jumping up.
Artis,
That's not the Neon
great
mode.
crosshair place.
But it's a 4v3. Why is Jing even in this position? Why is he not waiting? He already has a fucking gun. Did he pick it up? No way, he didn't pick it up. What the fuck? Why is Jin not picking up the gun from the kill that he had here? What the fuck?
Right around the side.
Hello? Hello?
Speaking of the pace, speaking of the fast play, lets the stun ball rip right around the side again, and he knows the positioning, he knows Sugetsu is isolated, but Artis
That is a huge overheat moment.
responds in kind.
He didn't pick up the gun, and he just runs in without any regard to his teammates. This is classic Jing. Classic Jing. He turned off this brain because he got 2 kills and threw the
The
round.
staircase. Overdrive still in play.
He wants to use the ult before it runs out? Yes, which is stupid. You don't need to get more value out of this shit. He already got 2 kills and he can pick up a Vandal. He doesn't need the ultimate. They can just retake together.
Tip tap of his feet, just trying to run around the map, but the positioning, of course, is going to be known here.
This is
Throwing it down, Artis.
this is literally
Great
throwing.
crosshair placement. Shot to the cranium. Jing is shut down.
Artis is saving the round for them at this point. Benkai's only got a stinger to work.
It's not Artis saving the round. It's Neon griefing.
Can't even pick anything else up.
Yeah, it's like a Leroy Jenkins. No one is fucking ready, man.
Shao matching this angle. There's the kill. It's up in the air in terms of who might be able to be winning that one, but looks like Devi opting play back and save this one. Benkai obviously doesn't want to bring this stinger into the next round.
And he won't. He won't be given the choice either way. What a round for Artis to turn up.
Bro, I felt it. What do you mean? I mean, guys, we literally had Forsaken in our stream, and when I said to him that they need to put Jing on a leash, you guys remember what he said? Forsaken literally said, Jing only knows W. So they know about it. They just need to put a fucking leash on him and teach him discipline. I mean, they should teach discipline on every single player because they lack it as a team. And once they will have that discipline, as I said before, they're gonna be fucking insane to stop.
Massively impactful kills after the rest of his team had been barreled over.
Yeah.
And you might have been...
What do you think about PRX Breeze Comp? You can rewind the VOD.
That was some kind of
I spoke about it for like 15 minutes at the beginning of this VOD review. Why are they using this composition and so on?
Control of the game. As FPX tie the series up 9-9 with an economy advantage.
To 9. Got the guns moving into the next one as well. It feels like they've got that read. I think
Forsaken needs a leash as well. The entire team needs a leash.
Hardships, obstacles, the entire way.
I'll be honest with you guys. If PRX are gonna be able to fix the discipline issues before champions, they might actually win all of it. Like they have cool ideas, they have really insane mechanical skills. Jing might be one of the best Rays when it comes to like min-maxing his movement that I ever seen, and they all have like the what they need to be a top team, but they lack the fundamental discipline. But it's, in my eyes at least, it's one of the easiest thing to fix, but it requires a lot of work.
Even when going up against the former champions of Optic, they earn their spot here, but Devi bites back.
Wait, what? How is Shao in this position here? Wait, what?
Former champions of Optic, they earn.
That's a big blunder by FPX. They literally know that Devi saved an operator because he saved it 2 rounds in a row. And they have a fucking Sky Sova, and they just try peek.
In their spot here, but Devi bites back the operator that he saved into that round.
That's another hurdle for FPX to overcome.
Like, this is pretty fucking awkward.
Angel not looking to get aggressive on the Halls lurk. Mind Freak would be waiting for him.
Maybe not expecting a breach to hold cave with an op. Let's speak in fury about this. Where do you expect the breach operator player then? On defense. Where can he stand? Either cave, B, or mid, or halls. Do you want to roll the dice by dry picking an operator with 25%? I think that's pretty fucking high odds that you're gonna have the breach in front of you. 25% is pretty fucking high. You don't want to dry pick this shit because you're actually giving a chance of your opponents to just fuck over you. But fortunately, also the one thing that they do that I like, look at Ardis positioning right here in cave. Ardis picks up the gun from Shao. They know they're playing against an eco, and he's gonna throw it away over the map. Look at the movement on Jet. Whoop! And he just threw the gun. So the gun is not retrievable. So that's at least something. If they reposition towards B side, they don't leave the gun out.
Lack the map control to send things back in their favor. FPX have got to be patient here. There's still a minute 10 on the clock. They can group up, start to move over to another area of the map. But if it's Angel that leads the way...
Yoru Neon Breach, what they should tune into. If you want to learn why this composition is actually pretty fucking good, rewatch the VOD from the beginning. I break down everything why this composition is being used like this.
See if there's any players holding close, and of course there were.
This is a fake towards A side, by the way.
Now on to be a flash over the top for Taken. Want to disrupt this one? Is the spike being planted? Now
I like this effort here. I really like the effort of stopping the plant here, but yeah, there are two options for Forsaken. Either he stops the effort of planting, maybe he catches the plant like completely off guard, and the second player is not able to trade him, and it's super valuable against an eco, or he stands still and waits for the retake. But look at the look what they have. They have Operator, Marshal, 2 Sheriffs, and a Frenzy. This is not a good retake. So I like this play by Forsaken here, not an actual overheat. I think this is a good decision based upon what is happening in this round so far.
disrupt this one. Is the spike being planted? Now he's going to try and opt for this peak. Angle being watched. Sagetsu's covering his teammates back.
A fraction away. A fraction away from being able to deny the plant and buy time for the rest of his team to rotate in, especially with the Rolling Thunder. That could have been everything.
No, I see. So the cast is actually thinking this is a mistake. I actually disagree, but yeah.
Down by Angel, ensuring that they can't get away with any mischief.
Like, there's no way that you want to use the Rolling Thunder here.
Up against this one with the crossfire and the post-plant setup. FPX more than favored.
Is this the first map you're reviewing? Yeah, but I'm gonna review only this map today. I want to play the game as well. And this VOD review already takes like 3 hours. And I didn't even finish it, man.
And hold on to it.
No, don't hold on it.
Making it a little more dangerous, a little more expensive.
Davai now saved the Operator 3 rounds.
FPX taking the lead. The first team to get to double digits in map 5.
How close are these teams, man?
Is this the first time there's no Chamber on Breeze on either team since he came out? No, the thing is that when Chamber... You guys might not remember this, but most of the fucking teams thought that Chamber is bad when he got released. He was literally not played on maps, and people played Cypher over him. And when I was on the desk at VCT, EMEA, and I saw that people are not using fucking Chamber instead of Cypher on Breeze, I was literally saying this on fucking stream, on the official broadcast. Why are those teams still playing Cypher? And the only explanation was lack of confidence in adapting to a new character.
3 players.
And I can guarantee you, right, that the old Chamber with 2 traps, no one can convince me that a Cypher is a better choice, was a better choice, when Chamber had 2 traps. Like on Breeze. There's just no way.
Away from even being able to attend Reykjavik. They're now 3 rounds away from winning in Copenhagen. PRX forced to take a timeout.
Yeah, thank you, no thank you. If you need to make the best team, who would we pick? I think, like, I had high expectations of Fnatic and DRX. Unfortunately, both DRX just crashed and burned. I think the IGL changed, hurt them a lot. I think they looked way better and disciplined and had better executes planned out when they were under the previous leadership. I'm not sure if I'm right, but that's my perception. Fnatic didn't even play close to what they played in EMEA. I don't know what happened, but it seems like a different team. That was not even close to the normal strat book. And those are the 2 teams that I had high expectations to. I got very surprised by PRX because I knew that they are super aggressive. I didn't like their playstyle before because it was disjointed. Now it looks way better because the actual ideas with the utility are much better. Not ideal, but much better. And they are effective, but they're overheating like motherfuckers. So PRX is gonna be scary as fuck to play against once they actually fix the overheating issues and discipline issues. You know? Now I need to bring a Red Bull myself. One moment. Look at my new chair! Woohoo! Dude, you know what's funny? My chair is actually more expensive now than my streaming PC. You could live in that box? This is a box for tigers.
Adjust to what FPX have thrown at them.
And you can feel it, Josh. The momentum of this map.
You know, like cats sit in fucking boxes, right? This one is so big that it could fit a tiger in it.
I think forces the question for them now to see how they can deal with this. FPX is adjusting.
Round. Verge has left.
That pressure gets to them. They've come into tournaments. They've been playing.
Dude, PRX hires me for a coach. As a second coach. I teach them all the fundamentals. They're the best team in the planet.
Bit of fun. Their goal is
No
always
joke.
been in a distant future for champions. It's given them that edge, that bit of whimsy that they needed to often just.
Do you think we need more stun agents? Especially initiators? I think we need more controllers.
When you're 4 rounds away
Right now.
from lifting a trophy.
Large cards are actually as fond of the boxes as domestic ones? Yes, I know.
Dreams start to become a little more real. Maybe the pressure starts to become a little more.
This is like, drawn, I'll do it myself. Is he side dashing?
Maybe the dreams.
And this is why FPX plays Jet over Chamber. That's something that I explained at the beginning of the VOD review.
Start to
This is why.
a little more real. Maybe the pressure.
Is he side dashing? He is. He is side dashing. See? He is side dashing, checking the right corner. He only checked the right one because the left one was checked by the tiger. So the drone is just like... Why? Why do you use even the drone? The drone is completely unnecessary here. This one just makes the Sova not play with the rest of the team. If they do this... This is... You can rewatch my fucking VOD reviews from FPX from different games, and it's literally always the same shit. Artis is just so much ahead of the rest of the team. Look what the players are. Look, what the fuck? Why are they so disjointed? Like, no one follows this shit up. 2 players are stuck in drones. One guy is already on side. He was a drone himself. He didn't need those drones here. Like, this is fine. This is unnecessary. And they should be just pushing in on the side with them. Like, this is just so weird, you know? So fucking weird.
Just don't expect this.
It was PRX with a timeout, and FPX have decided you will not get to execute your plan. We are immediately taking B.
Making sure that they watch for a lot of these common angles. The spike is going to be planted. It's forced into that retake. Look at the flank angle approach. You can see that there's a gate crash all the way back into their spawn, but Jing just trying to find his way.
This retake should be like initiated by Divine, right? Let's see what happens here.
Up into the angle now. The Hunter's Fury popping off right now for Shao to see if he can shut this.
Think I just... Wait, what?
Trying to find his way up into the angle now. The Hunter's Fury popping off right now for Shao to see if he can shut this one down to kill.
That ultimate from Shao kills both of them. The entire retake is fucked because of Shao's ultimate. Look at the minimap. Shao is ulting. Shao is ulting here. I wonder, like, if he knows exactly... No, doesn't know. But he fucks them over by doing this. It's kind of interesting to me that Davai actually goes from CT instead of going into the B tunnel. You know? Oh, I was so long in the custom map that it actually kicked me off. Wait. But yeah, Shower MVP in this round. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if you can play around it or not, but it's Shower just MVP'd this round. Okay, I'll just Alt F4 because it broke.
To the angle now, the Hunter's Fury. Popping off right now for Shao to see if he can shut this one down. The kill's still flooding through. A dash and a glide. But Angel again comes out on top. Forsaken, he is into the back of their spawn. The positioning is just so far away. And FPX, what a critical round to just slowly obtain this lead. Forsaken, what can you even do in this situation?
Trying to get the punish onto Angel, but at this point the round's already lost.
It's done.
The barest of silver linings being that he can take a Vandal into the next. But FPX...
What do you think of the crowd? It's fantastic, man. I love it. I love it.
And Josh, you mentioned...
The exit also happened before the arrow lands. So, when you see the arrow... I think there's a misconception. People think that the arrow needs to land to actually do the execute. I see the arrow as a means to get a kill after the execute happens. So, you build up the vision by using the sky and the side dash, and then when the jet is in the smoke, the arrow lands, and the players are just so confused by what is happening on site that that the jet can get free kills. That's why the arrow is typically delayed, and it's on purpose.
Denied the chance to attend Reykjavik. They were watching from the sidelines despite them being one of the top seeds. This time around.
The best team in EMEA, forced to watch as other people defended the region's reputation and fought for the crown.
But they've earned their spot here this time around. More than enough.
One of the oldest cores that we have in Valorant.
Execute happens in front, half arrow is delayed so they can take advantage of the backside info after getting on site. Yes. And they imagine that the jet sometimes get kills while shooting from her own smoke because someone else is exposed by the arrow.
On the throne, and it's another fast play. They're working. Why change it? Artis is in.
Mindfreak just trying to work his way around the corner, but he's spotted out.
Wait, did he have a Bucky?
Seated on the throne, and it's
wait, what? Why is he playing this position with a Bucky? He just plays around the jet?
Seated on the throne.
Yeah, but why is he playing? What the fuck me, man. So if you... I did it. I actually do this on ranked because this is like a jet dash that is being done on ranked, right? So essentially what is happening here, the jet is dashing into her cloudburst in this position, like this, right? Like this is what happens here. So you can play in this position, right? And you go into the smoke when it happens. So the jet dashes into you. Typically that works. But why is he playing the Bucky here? I really don't know. There's no explanation to play Bucky in that particular position. And he plays it from the beginning of the round. I really don't get this. I really don't get this.
Mindfreak just trying to work his way around the corner, but he's spotted out. He saw to see if he can find the timing. The trade is there. It's on the other extremities of the map, and the shot's still being found. Benkai.
Oops, sorry.
Angel not going to be able to watch that one for much longer. The choke point has been compromised.
No reason to play the Bucky? No, it's fine to play the Bucky. If you would play it in the other position.
To reposition and move back now to Nightfall. PRX investing into this one. They know how important it is. But they need more on top of it. The Rolling Thunder, it scatters them. The utility Jing, what a timing. Moves to the Cypher zip and again.
I mean, this is just chaotic. You can't even like say, oh, this was misplayed or something. Oh god, he just missed. Davai just missed the guy.
Absolute menace, but he's shut down, still down to the 1v1 Davai. Zipan forced to offload the Seekers, and he will not get it off.
But I don't understand like how those ultimates are being used. Like, it's so weird. Look.
Why change it? Artis is in.
Mindfreak just trying to work his way around the corner, but he's spotted out.
Let's pay attention to the ults. I think that
Extremities of the map,
very
shots that
weirdly
he
used.
found. Benkai. What a pick. Angel not going to be able to watch that one for much longer. The choke point has been compromised.
Look at the positioning.
Shao forced to
Why is this not clearing backside? What the fuck am I witnessing right here? Okay, so it's okay. Okay, never mind. This is decent because it's clearing clearing here. But the problem is that you could use it differently. Because they already had control of this area, so they didn't have to like think about it, right? Let me check so I don't talk out of my ass. Wait.
Point has been compromised.
They already okay, so they have control. You can see the neon controlling it, right? You can see the neon controlling it. So I think this is a mistake, but you know, heat of the moment, right? Because it's being used like this. Right? Now imagine, and you're late to the retake because, you know, he's pretty fucking far away. And the breach goes after you in the same fucking position. I think this is a huge mistake. I think this is a huge mistake. This would have been 10 times better. Does the same shit, but also clears a little bit further down the road. And you're faster to like catapult yourself onto the ultimate. And the breach also should be like ulting from here. Like, that's about it. Or even just from here. Like, just do whatever. Just this is the same thing that I hate about Fracture ults. Like, I don't think this is good. This is good when you actually have like an entire team because they cascade on this ultimate, but you're doing a 3v2 retake when two players are stuck in a shit position. They cannot take the advantage of their own ultimate. You know? Like, I think this is the same problem that I see with the Fracture fucking ultimate that the players do in ranked. This is shit. Don't do this in ranked. When you're going into the underpass and you're doing this fucking ult, you might be all like, no, this is so smart, man. They cannot kill me and I affect the entire site. No, it's fucking shit. It's fucking shit because you have no value. Like, if 4 players push with this, okay, there's some value. But you have no usage. Like, you're so far away from the actual execute that you can't really do much more after that, right? And you can do the same shit by going here, clearing long, right? And then using this, like this, you have much better utility usage. You affect the player in tower, bopping him into the open here, right? So someone in arcade gets a free kill on the guy in tower, and you are instantly with the rest of the team, so you can use the flashes for them or for yourself. I think this is lack of preparation, but I think there's no excuse here of doing this because, sorry, there's no excuse for using the utility from those spots because those spots are only good when you have a full team. They're running on a huge deficit, so using ultimates from points where you can benefit for yourself is not a good ultimate. You know?
Position to move back now to Nightfall.
Look, see? They exchanged the positions. Look. They just used the ultimate. No one is using anything, right? No one is going in. And now the breach is using the same position, right? See? And by the way, this is fucking terrible. In this spot, this should have been used here. That's what they need to worry about. Not those positions. They know the players are going to play side. This is what you're going to be worrying about. So, there's just like, it's so disjointed.
Moves to the Cypher zip and again comes back around. An instantaneous trade. Half onto the fuse. They're sticking it all away. Benkai, you're an absolute
X to map point, match point, tournament point.
One enemy remaining.
and just phenomenal plays by Zipper. The rotations, the dodging, the juking, the weaving, moving around.
How much impact do you think the FPX coach had on this map? Every time they had a timer, they had to come back from 5 and 6. I mean, in general, I don't know if it's Doombros or Angel or someone else in FPX, but they had great adaptations on the defense because they repositioned the Viper utility, the Cypher utility to play against the specific composition of PRX. So huge props to FPX for adapting properly to what PaperX was doing.
And these adaptations have been awesome. The fast rounds have been excellently coordinated. And it feels like they're not afraid at all to mix up the tempo. They can feel the game is within their control. FPX's fate's in their own hands here.
Throwing forwards.
Typical PaperX behavior, pushing on defense, right?
Artist has already made the moves. Up into it, the horn spots him out, spam down. That's a crossfire.
Artist gets schooled. It's like, oh man.
Pivot once more.
PaperX have read it. Mind Freak and Divide. Ready to collect this with a seize, a fault line.
They have to shut this down. They have to find value. The Paulie hears it with the footsteps. An opening kill.
This is like the standard breach stuff that they played, like the stun for contact. Like, it's nuts. A little bit too early here, because there was no point of contact, but it just buys time in a 5v3. But now, why is Mind Freak playing like this, not from the flash? I think there's a lot of disconnection here. But it's still 4v3. This is pretty good. Forsaken gets a 4v2, right? 3v2. They didn't start planting. 2v1. He needs to cross to site to plant the spike.
Absolutely ridiculous!
This is the classic PaperX play. They didn't have to do anything. But instead they chose to die. You know? Like... The shots by Sugetsu are insane. But my friends, we're talking about tier 1 Valorant. Everyone in those teams should have insane to absolute fucking godlike aim. Everyone should be a guy that you should fear. Because everyone can hit those fucking shots. And some people are even better than the fucking insane players. So, playing like this, like what PaperX represents in those moments when they have like an advantage and then they just fucking throw everything but the kitchen sink at the opponent's aid and then there's int. You know? The double phase was fine though? What do you mean double phase? You mean the B tunnel peak? No, it's not fine. They literally have this spike on the side and they know that Suigetsu is in B main. He has 38 seconds to plant the spike and he's a fucking Cypher. Like, just don't give them fucking fights.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Why? Why is this happening? Like, you know.
Point as well. This is where things start to get very dangerous.
Look, at this point, after getting this kill, this is the moment where no one should be fighting. This moment. This is the moment where no one is fighting. This is where they chill. This is where they get the Hound from Benkai. Davai's stun is also recharging. And they just wait for the Neon to come to them. They let them plant. They play retake. This is the proper play that you should be doing. You need to force them to plant. Otherwise, those motherfuckers need to fight you. Why are you giving them something that they need to do? No, you play against them. So you give the option to the opponents. They're at a huge disadvantage and they need to either fight the defenders or plant. If they plant, you literally get a free wall hack on one player and you know exactly where he is. You can play the numbers game, right? And yes, I actually literally didn't see that Forsaken has the ultimate as well. Like, at this moment, everyone should just freeze and fucking hide. Forsaken should pop the ultimate, but here Benkai overheats. This is Benkai's fault. This entire, I will be honest with you, this entire round right here is on Benkai. He has 35 HP, he's on one Vandal bullet, and he wide swings out in the open, untradeable. Essentially.
The reset! Absolutely ridiculous! And what a play!
because he swings and then Davaya has to swing for the trade? Yep. And instead, just let them do their job. Like, it's unfortunate, but I hope that PRX can learn from this. You know, I hope PRX can learn from this. I think if they fix their discipline, they might be one of the best teams on the fucking planet. You know, and this was super entertaining to watch. You know. So yeah, I think this was one of the best maps I have ever witnessed in professional play when it comes to entertainment value. I think it was awesome. For someone watching this live, I can imagine that it was amazing experience.